Hello, all, and that all is not so many, but hello, welcome to my coverage, at least, of Sheffield United and Sunderland in the Championship playoff final. I've not streamed for about a month and a half, but I'm really excited to get this opportunity once again to speak to you guys, to react live, to see who will be the last team that needs to join in the Premier League for the 25-26 Championship season. Excuse me. We've got 19 of the teams confirmed. Today we know the 20th and the final member. So that'll make things interesting. And we only have to wait, isn't it tomorrow? We've got the League One playoff final as well. So within today and tomorrow, we will know who are going to complete the top two leagues in the division. And yeah, Monday is going to be the League 2 one. So in the next couple of days, we're pretty much going to know every single movement in the EFL. The only other one we'll need to wait for is the National League playoff final, which plays, I think, 2 Saturdays time, if I remember. Got a sneeze coming, apologies. Oh, you know when there's a sneeze and you just know it's coming, and it's just now that you've mentioned the sneeze, it just doesn't want to appear. I'm going to have the urge of a sneeze for a lot, but it's not appearing at the moment. Blue Terrier, already with the classic no Gatsby, no party. I've got some good news for you. He's right there. He's right there. He is going to make an appearance soon. I just got to wait until more people arrive. I might as well share the stream. I don't think I've done it. So let me just quickly do that. Just to let people aware that we are live. I'm aware Matt is also going to go live. So I am going to expect the numbers to be relatively low throughout the stream. But I definitely want to react to who's going up to the Prem. And I want to know what will be the full Premier League list for next year. And the fact that League One playoff final is happening tomorrow, we're also going to find out the full Championship guest list for next season tomorrow, which is exciting. I think I've shared it on X. Let me just quickly share it on the Discord too, and then I'll be ready to go. Twitter's down. I've noticed that. I have noticed it because I can't posts are not loading for me. I've noticed it. That's just typical, isn't it? The one time I need it to work, it's not working. Right, I'll use Discord then. At least people on my server are going to know that I'm live. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, Peanuts and Blue Terrier, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. What are your thoughts going into this playoff game? Who are you fancying to win? I have gone for 1-0 win to Sheffield United. So I do think this is going to be a very low scoring game. I disagree with people thinking it's going to be high scoring. I know both these sides have had a tendency to score goals. But with a playoff final, the very common trend you see with a playoff final is that teams are nervous. They don't want to make a single mistake. And lo and behold, they want to make sure that they don't make any silly defensive errors. York City getting knocked out by Oldham just shows how important the 3-up 3-down system has been. Yes, I agree. That was the thing that shocked me. I did see York losing, which, you know, yeah, I was gutted to see them in the way that they did. I think they were 3-0 down at half time, and they ultimately didn't recover. And actually, I'd arguably say with the teams playing in the quarterfinals beforehand, I'd argue that they actually have a bit more match sharpness than the other team waiting for the semi-finals. You know, I feel like if Chelmsford had the 3-up 3-down system, they'd been a National League team as well. So I can wholeheartedly sympathise for York City fans with this, because it is something which I think they should have been considering, you know, ages ago. And it's only now that people are starting to kind of push for it. But even with that, it's going to take a drastic change in the football pyramid. And who on earth in League 2 is going to opt for that? No one's going to opt for that. So it's going to take a lot to change it. But I really do think it should be 3-up 3-down for League 2 to the National League. I've not understood that system in the first place. Blue Terriers going for a 2-0 Sunderland win. And Peanuts has gone for nil Sunderland on penalties. So, slight favourites of Sunderland based on the viewers in the moment. I think it will be Sheffield United, but I think it's going to be close. Very, very close, actually. Don't know if I've seen the comment about the English second tier playoffs. It might have been something I can see on Twitter when it works again. I could definitely see it. What is going on, welcome. So, I think there's a good number of you now. Let's actually see if I can bring Gatsby into shot. So I'm hoping the camera's not going to disconnect. This could be quite awkward trying to do this. Can you see? There he is. He's right there. He's all fast asleep. You going to wake up for them? I don't think he wants to wake up. Let me just see if he'll sit up. No? Gonna stay asleep? Oh, wait, no. But he's still ignoring me somehow. Okay, well, I can sense he's very, very tired. So, well, shouldn't be tired. He woke me up this morning. And that is a complete truth. He woke me up this morning, so it's payback for him, I guess. And the most recent video, right, okay, I'll quickly change it now. But thank you everyone for turning up for today. As I said at the start, I know Matt's streaming this as well, so I'm expecting the numbers to be relatively low throughout today. But I just want to stream just so that I can see who has won. I do want to see, just want to see the events unfold. I want to see how it goes. Okay, here we go. Second tier English football since the playoff format of 4 teams below the automatic promotion. 88-89. We have 13 finals between the first seeded team and the second seeded team. Right, okay, so essentially what that means is... How many have we had in total then? From 88 to 89. 1, 2, 3. So the stat is pretty much 1 in 3, or just over 1 in 3 finals. We get the first versus the second seeded team. Including Reading versus Bolton. 1 second, and first, third, usually the third and fourth. Strategy, in those 20 finals, the highest seeded teams have won 7 times and the second highest seeded teams have won 6. That's a good stat because it pretty much says that even if you're the highest seeded team between the two, there's not a huge favourite in it. The difference I'm finding with this season is because there has been a big points difference between 3rd and 4th this year. I'd argue at the start of the season it wasn't quite that way. Of course, Sunderland fell off a little bit around January time, and because the top 3 was so relentless in that period, Sunderland did find themselves in an awkward position of being so far ahead of everyone else. They were losing pace with the top 3, and they just kind of, I think, just decided to go first gear with the last couple of games, prepare for the playoff games, and lo and behold, that turns out, at the moment at least, to be a really good decision from Sunderland. Is there a reason for kickoff time to be 3:01? There is. Let me just double check of the reason. I did read it. It was for a charity. Hang on. Was it? Oh, it wasn't Kick It Out, but I think it was... what was it? Hang on. There was an article about it somewhere. Let me quickly find it. Okay, yeah. To raise awareness for Sky Bet and the British Hearts Foundation's Every Minute Matters. Right, that's what it was. So essentially, the minute between the 3 o'clock and the 3:01 is essentially raising awareness of British Hearts Foundation of Every Minute Matters campaign, which aims to teach people life-saving CPR. So I definitely think, I knew it was definitely for a charity reason, and I definitely thought it was, they're being attacked by the sprinkler. There we go. We were waiting for that. I would have thought with the amount of times they've been to Wembley, they would know about that, but no. So the commentary team were attacked by, basically, they were really attacked by a sprinkler there. But yeah, 301 is down to the Every Minute Matters campaign for the British Heart Foundation. Very nice message, I think. Just going to have a quick sip of water, and then what we'll do, we'll cover the teams, and we'll cover everyone's thoughts and the main people we need to be looking out for. There's a increased discussion of the battle between Dan Ballard and Kiefer Moore, which, yeah, absolutely, but we've got to also evaluate the other battles I think we're going to be seeing as well today. Okay, going to need this a lot today, I think, because I'm going to be talking a whole lot. A whole lot today. Let's hope that capture works. I did check on it. Right, I've got hope. No, come on, please work. Oh no, don't do this to me. It was working. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my goodness me. Of course when I go live it now doesn't work. Oh, you are taking the mickey. Right, apologies guys, I will fix this. Give me a minute. Literally every minute matters. Oh, are you joking? I now can't open that. What's going on with this? Why can't I open that now? I've got to open it separately. Oh my gosh, right, okay. Something's happened. Alright. Still, we'll get it fixed in a minute. Get it fixed, come on. Ah, there we go. Right, we've got it. Let me just fix that for you. There you go. Right. Okay, let's get... Oh, wait. So it was fixed, but... Okay, well, stupid system. Anyway, let's use this. So, Sheffield United, Sunderland, 3:01 kickoff. Here are the teams. How can you see it? Do I need to adjust for it? Yes, I do. Okay, let me just give me... There you go. So, moving on. Sheffield United have got Cooper. They've got a back four of Burrows, Robinson, Amadezovic, and Hamza Chowdhury. We've not seen Hamza Chowdhury play in that position from the start of the season. Kind of reinvented in that right back position. Gustavo Hamo, Vinicius, Peck, and Ryan Brewster as a midfield four. You then have a front two of Tyrese Campbell and Kiefer Moore. Very attacking team from Sunderland. Sheffield United, sorry. Sunderland, let's see what they've got. They've got Patterson, Shirkin, O'Nien, Dan Ballard, and Trihume, which certainly the four of them were amazing together in their playoff games. Lefay in midfield, Joe Bellingham, Dan Neil, Chris Rigg, Mundell, and my Ender. Where is Isidore? Is he injured? Isidore is on the bench. I'm assuming he must have picked something up, because I would have expected him to start. Roberts is also on the bench for Sunderland. Chris Metham is there too. Could be facing his former club there, Chris Metham. And then Sheffield United squad, they've got Rob Holding on the bench, former Arsenal player, Callum O'Hare, Ben Brereton Diaz, Tom Davies. I mean, lots of options. Sariki is on the bench. He's shown lots of promise this season as well. I still think man for man and squad, Sheffield United is stronger for Sunderland, but Sunderland has certainly got great potential with the average age of the squad. I don't know if they're actually showing the average age of the squad or not. No, I don't think they will. They probably will somewhere, but it's definitely not going to be here. Oh, age. That could be a good sign. 22.9. Yep. So significantly less than 26 in the average starting age for Sheffield United. There you go. So that is my view with looking at the teams. This is the most ambitious playoff final. What do you mean by ambitious? In terms of the two teams that are most ambitious? Or the production behind it? I mean, it's certainly two teams which I think need Premier League football next year. For many different reasons. The fact that he's staying in the club for 10 years and managed to finally win something meaningful was remarkable. Yeah, this is sort of your first reaction of me reacting to Spurs winning a trophy. It was... It's one of those ones I really struggled to have any sort of feeling, to be honest. It was a really terrible game, which ended up being won by a very terrible goal. But in one essence, I'm quite happy for Spurs for beating Man United, because I know a lot more Man United fans than I do for Spurs fans, although Callum famously is a Spurs fan, and he is loving life at the moment. But it is, you know, it's that thing with Spurs of not winning anything, and now that's gone. And the thing that I will find really unbearable with this is if Spurs get Champions League next year and Chelsea don't, we have to therefore beat Nottingham Forest tomorrow. If Spurs had not won, I mean, either way, I think with one of Manchester United and Spurs winning Champions League football and Chelsea potentially not getting Europa League, I think would have, you know, either way made me feel angry if Chelsea didn't get in it. But especially now it's Spurs, with how much Spurs do like to take the mickey out of Chelsea fans. Chelsea need to get Champions League. They really ought to get it now. Though Arsenal fans, I think, have been the ones with the worst reaction from it, because Spurs can now say they've won a European trophy in recent years, whereas Arsenal have not won a European trophy recently. So, yeah, a mixture of emotions. One part happy for Man United not quite winning, but yeah, and actually the biggest happiness I got was Ange Postecoglou. Just the aura levels of him saying that he always wins something in his second season, and he's stuck with his word. I mean, that quote now is got to be up there for like top 5 coldest quotes in football now. Because he literally did the impossible, winning Spurs a trophy, something that Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte couldn't do. And you've just seen Antonio Conte yesterday win the league with Napoli and managed to turn a player like Scott McTominay to the Serie A player of the season. So it's amazing stuff, really, that he's managed to do that. I'm rooting for Sunderland, but they need to be at their best. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. And welcome to the stream, Vijay. I think 4-4-2 is not going to stay long forever, Blue Terrier. I think that's just the general gist of what SofaScore's going to think is going to happen. I think throughout the game, the formations are going to be tinkered around a bit. Oh, of course I've heard about Spurs winning the Europa League. That's what I spoke about the past couple of minutes or so. Okay, so I think I've caught up with all the comments, including the ones talking about the National League playoffs as well. That's the last official game before we find out what the complete 92 of the EFL is going to be. Dean Henderson making his own chant after winning the FA Cup. Well, I've not heard the chant, but I'm definitely sensing that he's going to certainly be a character with it. I knew he got a bit lucky not getting sent off, but this has been the year of underdogs winning trophies. I made that comment if you saw me at Matt stream, I think it was yesterday, that you saw Newcastle, who'd not won a trophy in 70 years, Palace, who've not won a trophy in 125 years, and Spurs, who've not won a trophy in 17 years, winning trophies for the very first time this season. Well, not the very first time, but, you know, it's been a long, long while since all of these clubs have won trophies. So that's why I just kind of felt like I was walking into that Europa League game accepting that Spurs were going to win. That's how it felt. It just felt like destiny based on how everything else happened for this season. Okay, we're already 20 minutes in the stream, and blimey, still no minute of football being played, although kickoff will commence in about 10 minutes time. So guys, this is your perfect time to leave your predictions in the final 10 minutes. If you've not smashed the like button on the stream, it really does help the growth of this channel. I've got to give Matt a bit of a shout out, because following my donation to him quite recently, quite a few people really appreciated the stuff, and actually what it meant is we actually grew quite a bit in subscriber count. If I could find it somewhere, where is it? Oh wait, no, I know what I need to do. Apologies. Can I remember what I'm doing? I would always have this, but then because I had to close everything, now I need to reopen everything. It's annoying. Okay, where is it? Sorry, 2 seconds. Live cam. There we go. Found it. So, we're officially at 2.93k now. We actually jumped from 2.91 to 2.93. So, I've got to give Matt a big shout out for that. He is giving me a nice, decent kick up the backside to get up to 70 subs away from 3k. I don't think we're going to get 3K today. It would be amazing if we did, but realistically, I don't think we will. I think 2.95 would be absolutely incredible as well. But yeah, that's basically where we're at. The next big milestone will be 3K. Again, it's just going to be a bit of a patient process with this one. But if you've not liked or subscribed, it will be amazing to do. It does tremendously help the channel. And sharing also really helps too. It attracts new viewers to check us out. Am I going to do a prediction in next season? Likely, if I'm going to be doing content. I do need to figure out what I'm doing with my life. I'm in a weird state of limbo at the moment because exams are going to be over in a week's time, which is a strange feeling for me because then I don't have I'm not bogged down by a study or revision. So then I've got to think, right, I need to actually prioritize self-care now because that's kind of been second priority, or in fact, not even second, like fifth priority below getting work done and stuff. And YouTube has actually taken a little bit of principle from that. So I will figure things out once I find a routine that works and I can get YouTube involved. I'll do it. But YouTube always does take a long time. It just would be really nice if I could find someone that could edit stuff because it is just so exhausting. But either way, I can't complain. I've managed to get myself into this position. Right, players are walking out. Whilst we're doing that, let's have a very quick recap of how the teams are being set up, just in case anyone's just joined. Excuse me, full of indigestion. Apologies. So, Sheffield United have gone with Cooper, Harrison Burrows, Jack Robinson, Anna Ahmedizovic and Hamza Chowdhury. We've got a midfield four of Gustavo Hamer, Vinicius, Peck. You've got Ryan Brewster. And then you've got a front two of Tyrese Campbell and Kiefer Moore. Sunderland, they've got Anthony Patterson, you've got Dennis Churkin, Luke O'Nien, Dan Ballard and Tri Hume. Then you've got Enzo Lefebvre, you've got Joe Bellingham, Dan Neil, Chris Rigg. And then you've got Mundell up front with Mayenda. Key players on the bench, so Sheffield United, you've got Sariki, McCallum, Rob Holding, O'Hare, Brereton Diaz, Tom Davies. These players sort of can make something, maybe Andre Brooks as well. And then Sunderland, you've got Chris Metham, could be facing his former club here. Patrick Roberts on the bench, Alan Brown, obviously former Preston player. Wilson Isidore, who has scored plenty of goals, he's also on the bench with Tom Watson too. That is what we're looking at here. And final prediction for me, as I said, I'm going to stick with it. I think it will be Sheffield United that win this. I think it's going to be a 1-0 victory to Sheffield United. Mini version of what? Oh no, I have heard it. I never realised it was about Dean Henderson. I did hear that chant, but I clearly wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I love that. I like when players think outside the box and now they've got something memorable to associate that player with. I love that. Therefore, that means I could see Dean Henderson being a bit of club legend. I feel like there will be some interest for him. Oh God, is someone singing the national anthem? Who is that? If someone did say who this was, I mean, I've not got any audio, so I don't know who that is. I don't know who it reminds me of. Good morning? I think good afternoon more like, Jack. Where are you if it's only morning for you? It's good to see you. And welcome back. Ultimately, you're never gone from the channel in the first place, but it's nice to see Birmingham and you back on my channel. It's really nice to see all of us return. Who on earth is this guy? I don't know who he reminds me of. Oh, and if you were wondering, Gatsby is right there as well. If anyone does want to see him, I will get him involved. What am I going to do for 3K? I have no idea what I'm going to do for 3K, Bluto, to be honest. Because of the length of time between 2K and 3K, it does feel like it's just taking a bit of a long slog to get there. I don't know. I feel like the biggest milestone will be 5K before I think of doing anything else. I'm probably going to say the P word, which is not probably what you're thinking, but Patreon. I'm not going to do it after 3K. I mean, there's no chance. If I'm going to think of doing one, it probably will be something that I'll do either 5K or maybe even 10K, if I'm going to be honest. Something that's very important for me is value for money, and I want to make sure that I've got the sustainability and the feasibility to produce things that are going to be good value for money. Oh, okay. I see, Jack. That's your thing. Okay, so I've covered the teams. Both are going with a 4-4-2, which I think will change as the game goes on. What am I thinking? I was thinking of other things. So kickoff will be at 3:01. Obviously, they are going to be celebrating, or at least showing awareness of the Every Minute Matters campaign for the British Heart Foundation. It's a very important message that gives people compulsory training for life-saving CPR. We've seen a couple of incidences of fans needing CPR to save themselves, and quite honestly, it is a very poignant and a very important message, and I do want this to kind of ring clear of how just treating someone for CPR for one singular minute can save someone's life. So that's why they're doing this. Kickoff, of course, as I said, will be at 3:01, and we will be commentating from there. Sheffield United are going to be in their red and white stripes as always. Sunderland are being in their, I don't know if it's their away kit or their third kit. They've got their white with navy blue and dark green patterns on their sleeves. Quite a few of you backing Sunderland, and quite a fair few for Sunderland, certainly compared to Sheffield United. I don't know if that's more or less kind of leaning to who you want to go up. I mean, because if I asked who you want to go up, they going to do the minute now, aren't they? Yeah, they're going to do like a minute of highlights and stuff. Very sweet. But yeah, what was I going to say? So if I asked the question who you think would go up and who you want to go up, I probably would say two different answers, but I have a feeling that you would probably say the same answer for both. I would prefer Sunderland to go up than Sheffield United. I think for the same reasons as basically everyone is saying, that they did not have the best campaign in the Premier League last season. And it will be nice to see Sunderland go back up for the first time in 8 seasons. It's been a while. 17-18, they were relegated from the Championship even. So you got to think back to 16-17 when they were last in the Prem. And then, 18-19 League One, lost to the playoff final to Charlton. Remember it well. It was a final, wasn't it? Or was it a semi-final? I think it was a final. 19-20 was COVID. Didn't get promoted. 2021... I can't remember specifically. It might have been a playoff campaign. And then 21-22, 6th season. That might have been actually when they did go up, actually, 2021. Yeah, 23-24 was a pretty poor season. 22-23 was their first season back in the Championship where they got playoffs. So it's been, about 9 seasons. That's insane. Insane how long Sunderland have not been in the Premier League. So it will be nice to see them back in there. It will be nice to give Newcastle a small thing to think about. I do think they are qualities and light years apart because of the incredible supporting and backing that Newcastle have received quite recently. But it will just be nice just to see the rivalry, spark back to life, and certainly fan bases will be, making things interesting when they play. They played against each other not too long ago in the FA Cup, if I remember, on the pitch. It was like, as I said, light years apart. But it will be just nice just to see a good head-to-head battle between them again. I have more pressure on them. Don't mind who goes up. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm a little bit. I'm not too focused on this one. If it was someone like, I don't know, an Ipswich or a Colchester getting into, the Premier League or the league above for a playoff final, I probably won't be able to switch my, biased brain off. But, these are two sides which I deeply respect. Gustavo Hamer has just kicked off for Sheffield United. Took me by surprise, quite literally, because I've not started the timer. Apologies, guys. I will start it as soon as I can. But here we go. The first minutes of the last game in the 24-25 season. It's been a very interesting season. It's been dramatic. It's been emotional at times. It's been predictable at times. But it now all ends after this game has taken place. It is Sunderland on the board at the moment, although Anthony Patterson has already been pressed really, really heavily already, and Sheffield United certainly shown a bit of intent. And this is actually one of the very first, is that the first game where they're showing their new badge, Sunderland? Or is it like a general badge that everyone's doing from the British Heart Foundation? I feel like I've not seen Sheffield United's badge, so I don't know if this is a general badge that both clubs are doing, or if it's just their new Sunderland rocking with their retro badge. Oh, I see, it's their retro badge, right? Okay. Gustavo Hamer with the cross. Kiefer Moore, he wins the header. Oh, what a save! Oh my gosh, what a start that would have been! Oh my goodness me, Kiefer Moore already showing the incredible threat for the years. Literally just clawed out by Anthony Patterson. 1 minute and 15 seconds in. It would have been the first 100 seconds of the game. A delightful ball by Gustavo Hamer. We spoke about the battle of Dan Ballard and Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore certainly won that battle first. That is an amazing save by Patterson. Had to get down very quickly to claw that out. That's going right to the corner. Really quick as well. Great save by Patterson. Churkin gets on the wrong side of him. Ballard doesn't even get there. That's a big opportunity gone from Kiefer Moore. What a start that would have been. Luke O'Nien is down. He was like very far behind from trying to stop Kiefer Moore. But he does manage to get something on him in the end. Oh, yeah, he's holding his arm. It wasn't intentional for Moore. Yeah, it's nothing he chose. In fact, Dan Ballard wasn't there at all. It was Churkin and Luke O'Nien that would try to defend Kiefer Moore. But that Dan Ballard was nowhere to be seen. I'd arguably say that O'Nien and Ballard need to swap places. If that's where Kiefer Moore's going to be, because they showed a stat that Dan Ballard won over double of the headers that compared to any other player in the Championship playoff games. I think that's what they need to do. They need to react quickly because Luke O'Nien, which has been mentioned before, is not the tallest of players, but his physicality is what makes him separate from most other defenders. But Kiefer Moore is one of the tallest players on the pitch. You need Dan Ballard to try and combat his aerial duels. So that would immediately be a change that I would be suggesting for that Sunderland team. Although Nuko Line's still down at the moment, so we've got a little bit of a delay. So we've had more time of Luke O'Nien being on the ground than we've had of football at the moment. So, was dislocated? I don't know if it's been dislocated. It's hard to see what has happened to his arm or whether it's more his shoulder. Oh, okay, so what I think he's done, I think Churkin tries to put... oh, yeah, he looks in a lot of pain, Luke O'Nien there. I think he tries to push Kiefer Moore just to put him off. Doesn't really get a lot, and he awkwardly tries to do it. I fear that he may have dislocated either his arm or his shoulder. And they have got a stretcher out. That's very concerning for Sunderland. Time wasting already. I think he's dislocated his shoulder. I've not heard the commentary team. I don't know what they're saying. But based on sort of like the exercises they're doing on his shoulder area and his upper arm, I think he may have dislocated it. And that is not nice when you've... I played with someone who dislocated their arm and he found himself in a sleeve for a couple of weeks. It's not fun. Minutes in, it is heartbreaking for Churkin. Yeah, he looks in absolute agony. Absolute agony. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to continue if he's in that much pain. And it's really down to... 09's not close enough to Kiefer Moore initially, but he tries to push him to put him off. And he doesn't really do it with a great amount of technique because Kiefer Moore has already leaped above him anyway. And Churkin is not there either to support him. I mean, it's pretty much a free header from Kiefer Moore. And again, an amazing save from Patterson. It's not looking good. I think Churkin's going to go off. He's able to walk off, but he needs 2 people to support him. I can sense he doesn't want to go off, but this is not good stuff for Sunderland at the moment. Luke O'Nien, who is not like the best of players in terms of height wise for defenders, but again physicality wise, he's in a league of his own when it comes to that, and the passion that he has is amazing. I think Sunderland are going to bring on Chris Metham to replace him. I think that's looking like who they've got on. So it's pretty much going to be a full game for Chris Metham against his former club. I think that's who they're bringing on. I mean, what Chris Metham has, height-wise, he's got a little bit more going for him. But I would say Luke O'Nien is quite a fair bit quicker than him. I do think this will make things very, very interesting now for the rest of the game. I mean, we've had a delay of 5 minutes at least from that. So I'll be expecting at least 6 or so minutes of added time. Well, probably 5 or so minutes of added time. Luke O'Nien is still receiving treatment next to the goal. They've managed to get him far enough so that they can continue playing the game. It is Sheffield United who's pushing. Here's Peck going up to Hamza Chowdhury. Burrows. Jack Robinson now. Oh, and looking really good, Sheffield United here. Great ball from Hamer. Cross in. And Churkin wins a header. Volley. It's blocked. And it's defended away. Enzo Lefebvre. Having one of their key defenders being injured is very bad. Yeah, it's not great. Not great for Sunderland at all. It's a slim chance that 8th place could play Europe next season, but there are quite a few permutations they need to play out. I think I'm right. One of the permutations is Chelsea winning the Conference League. Oh, hang on. This could be a good chance for Sheffield United again. Oh, I tell you what, Sheffield United are looking in the mood already. And ball looks like it looks like they're in the offside position anyway. Oh yeah, it was way offside. I believe that was Tyrese Campbell who's in an offside position here. Yeah. Looking really, really good at the moment, Sheffield United. I think Chris Metham has now entered the pitch. But yeah, Luke O'Nien is slowly making his way off the pitch. So yeah, that is the official substitution. Luke O'Nien off. Chris Metham on the pitch. That is gutting for Luke O'Nien to be off the pitch that early on. But Chris Metham against his former club, that it'd be nice for him to potentially get a good result. Was that Ryan Brewster, probably? Right. My issue with Sheffield United is Wilder. He's just getting sacked in December if they go up. Yeah, I mean, Sunderland are going to be a team which will be a bit of a wild card. They've got a young team, a lot who don't really have Premier League experience, and a manager who's not played in the Premier League. But that makes things a little bit more unpredictable. Whereas we've seen Chris Wilder in the Premier League a handful of times already. Great first season, but second season, not great. And then, obviously, we've seen what he's done with Watford. Not great there either. And then, it's just thinking, is it going to be a bit too predictable? Right, they want a handball against Gustavo Hamer. That's not going to be given. And it has been given. It has been given in Sunderland's favour. Right, here comes Sunderland. Can they break? They ought to really, really quickly here. Here's Tryhoom. The good thing is, I have watched both Sunderland and Sheffield United this season quite a fair bit, so I should have a bit more awareness of shirt numbers and stuff. Here's Chris Metham. I can see that very clearly. Here's Dan Ballard. I've not really seen a lot of him at the moment. Dan Neil does very well to win the ball here. But I think he may be down though. They can't afford another injured player, Sunderland. They've got to be very, very careful. Right, he's back on his feet. That's good. Headed away by Tryhoom. But good physicality from Tyrese Campbell to win the ball back. But again, even better physicality from Trihume. I think the tackles are starting to fly in, people. Oh, tackles are flying. Okay, we have got a physical game on our hands. That's exciting. I'd rather watch Sheffield United without Wilder. I just question who could come in and keep Sheffield United up. I don't really can think of many managers who could do this at the moment. I don't know if like a Steve Cooper would be one that people would consider. I don't know. It's hard to say. Has Matt been having streaming issues? Because I've only had the notification now that he's live now. He must have disconnected. I don't know. But knowing me, I'll probably interrupt his stream around half time when I can. Really can? Oh my goodness me. Oh, that man. Oh dear. I think the fact he was linked with Blackburn, I think just ultimately fans were going, oh my gosh, here we go again. Here's relegation confirmed. Ended up at was playing Football Manager the other day and Scott Parker ended up at Leyton Orient. You know what? Give it a couple of years. Who knows what could happen with Scott Parker? He'll be a Premier League manager this season. We'll see if he can survive longer than he did at Bournemouth. He got dismissed very, very quickly, if I remember right. God, excuse me. Leyton Orient could very well be a Championship club next year. Let's not forget about that. They've got Charlton to face in the playoff final. Either way, Charlton, we've not seen them since 2020 in the Championship, sorry. That would be nice to see them again. So it's been, what, a 6-year absence since we've seen Charlton, or 5-season absence. And then, when was the last time Leyton Orient were in the Championship? I'm sure they would have been in it before, but I'm trying to think of when they were last in the second tier. When were they last in the second tier? I'm just going to research this. I mean, let's not forget, Leyton Orient were a National League team since 2019. They were promoted from the National League in 2019. You know, you have to remember that. And for them to be one game away from the Championship, the second tier, that's a monumental rise. So Division 2, they were last in it in 1995. So they were never a Championship club since the rebrand. There's been one player final in the second tier that had no goals under 120 minutes. Okay, wait. So there's been only one player final in the second tier that has had no goals. Okay, so that's going to be 0-0 going to penalties. So you're telling me the Huddersfield and Reading game is the only playoff final game that has actually ended 0-0 going to pens? That's a really insane stat if that's true. I do think it's low scoring playoff finals as a whole, but clearly what they either are is that they are low scoring draws or low scoring wins. And for what I think will happen is certainly what I'm being backed at the start is we're going to get a low scoring win, I think, to Sheffield United. But since that Kiefer Moore chance, they haven't really tested Patterson at all after that. I think certainly that break in play disrupted Sheffield United's flow. Right, goal kick from Cooper. Header won by Kiefer Moore. Brewster, headed away by Ballard. Bit of head tennis now in the moment. Lots of head tennis, in fact. Okay, Kiefer Moore's winning so many of headers. It's actually a joke. Peck with the ball, blocked by Churkin. Here's Ream Brewster, who we've seen for the first time in this game. Cross is not the best, although it does find Tyrese Campbell. Blocked. Great defending from Sunderland. Yeah, I remember the Fulham-Brentford one. I was in France, actually, when that happened, but I saw the goal. It was a very, very clever bit of magic there. Scott Parker's first Championship promotion, if I remember. As a manager, that is. Okay, so now here comes Sunderland trying to press. It hasn't worked particularly well. Goal kick. Here's Ballard. Giving it to Try Hume. He's going to pass it back. Okay, it was Chris Wick who did that there. Okay, so interesting. So they have certainly changed positions of squads. So I'll just quickly show you to the capture to what SofaScore are now observing in this game. They're seeing Enzo Lafi and Mayenda sort of working as a front two. Definitely I'm seeing Mayenda. I've not seen a lot of Enzo Lafi at all, to be honest. Ryan Mundell kind of playing more out wide. Chris Wigg playing there. O'Neill, Bellingham. Obviously we've seen 09 go off. Tryhoon being very heavily involved already. And then Kiefer Moore and Tyrese Campbell, pretty much with Sheffield United, it is the exact squad and formation that they expected. Right, long goal kick coming in from Sheffield United, and they are certainly leading the way with Jules at the moment. Oh, very aggressive defending from Dan Ballard, really good there. And again, brilliant recovery tackle this time by Tryhoon. Sunderland are trying to get something for him. Okay, so here's Chris Rigg. I've not really seen him at the moment. So, and here's Joe Bellingham showing his composure on the ball, which is great. Ballard now down to Churkin. I've got to remember it's Chris Metham's going to be on the pitch now, so number 26. Right, okay, here's Mundell, and it's a good block by Chowdhury. So that's the first sort of battle I've seen between Mundell and Chowdhury. It's won a corner for Sunderland. Is that the first corner of the game, actually? I think that's the first corner of the game, and we're 16 minutes in. It's been a while, but yeah, first corner of the game goes to Sunderland. As always, guys, if you enjoy what you've seen and want to see more, I might stream the last day of the Premier League season tomorrow. You know, so don't get excited, guys, but you may see me twice this weekend. If you guys want to see more, please smash the like button. It really does help the growth of the channel. Each time you do like and subscribe, it really does help. And in terms of subscriptions at the moment, I think we're still on 2.93. So thank you guys so much. Okay, nothing's happened. It's just claimed by Cooper. And Sheffield United could break here. Hang on, let's just go back. Tyrese Campbell. Although Joe Bellingham, really good tracking back there. Brewster, opportunity is missed. Really good tracking back by Joe Bellingham to stop the counter-attack flowing. I think ball's gone out of play there. Yep, it is a throw into Sheffield United. I'm going to watch the League One player final tomorrow. I'm going to pay more attention to the Premier League last day, but I think I will certainly have an eye on it if they are playing at the same time, which I'd like to say they are at least going to be playing around the same time. So yeah, the Premier League stuff kicks off at 4. Oh no, Charlton and Norwich is at 1. Okay, well I'll certainly, if I am streaming tomorrow, I'll give you my reaction. I mean, who do you guys want to see in the Championship next year? I've just realised that Leyton Orient, have never been a Championship club. They've been a Division 2 club before, but they've never been a Championship club. So, would you like to see Leyton Orient in the Championship? Do you think they would finish rock bottom, or the bottom 3, or just above the bottom 3 if they did go back up? And what about Charlton? Would you like to see them go up? Would you like to see the return of Nathan Jones in the Championship with Charlton? How do you think they'd get on? Do you think they would stay up? Do you think they would go down if they did go up? You know, how do you see one of Leyton Orient and Charlton going? And in terms of the other two playoff teams, Wickham and Stockport, how do you see them going through next season in the League One? Considering the 3 relegated teams are Plymouth, Cardiff, and what's the other one? Luton. Wow, Luton. How do you see League One playing out next year? Thinking Charlton will win? That's according to Was a Grant fan. I'm leaning to Charlton, but I cannot ignore the fact that Leyton Orient's form up to now has been absolutely amazing. Get Patrick Bauer on an emergency loan. I love that. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's a perfect if you know comment. Oh, okay. We're nearly 20 minutes in. Won 4 promotions as a Sheffield United player and manager, Chris Wilder, but they never involved a playoff game, if I remember. Northampton went up automatically. Then obviously Sheffield United, I think, were all automatic promotions. Yeah, I can't recall Chris Wilder winning a playoff game, unless I'm completely mistaken and I've not remembered it. Thanks all of you for watching again. I think Matt's stream is fully running now, so I'm going to expect the numbers to be quite low today. But honestly, it's, you know, it's for what I am, really. It's my, you know, it's my place. My place in time. Right, okay. Sunderland on the ball. Joe Bellingham against Kiefer Moore. He does well, Joe Bellingham. He's got some options, but he does keep it a bit long. Here's Dan Ballard. Quite far up the pitch, actually. Tries to find a neat ball to try Hume. Nah, it's too much power. It's good defending by Jack Robinson. I am liking their retro badge, Sunderland, I can't lie. I would like them to sort of think about trying to keep it for a little bit longer than just this one game. I like to draw 2 vertical lines as tangents of the centre circle when attacking. Offside only starts from the vertical line in the opposing half. I'm going to try and understand that. Okay, wait. Is there nothing happening yet? Sorry, I'm just waiting to see if the ball goes out and play. But I think I do understand. Wait, so my idea is to draw 2 vertical lines as tangents. Yes, I can understand that. Of the centre circle. Yes. When attacking, offside only starts from the vertical line in the opposing half. Right, okay. So you're telling me that the offside actually doesn't start immediately for the centre line. It'll be the tangent after that. Okay, that would be a bit more interesting. So essentially, there's a little bit more wriggle room of the pitch not being offside. It's not a massive part of the pitch though, but I can certainly understand some benefits of it. So speaking of sides, they were just flagging a Sheffield United player offside. Fans are clapping in the 22nd minute, something they must have agreed to do. Feel obliged to clap myself. Everyone's doing it. Okay, so still 0-0. 22 minutes in. Oh, here's Mayenda, who I've not seen a lot of, although he has just done well to get past the midfield. Oh, he could shoot here. Oh, he didn't. But it's really, really good defending. But this is the first bit of decent attacking I've seen from Sunderland, and it's just down to Mayenda's strength. He gets past Jack Robinson pretty easily there. He'll be a bit disappointed with that, but oh, it's good defending right at the end. Good last-ditch defending. Just, you know, not anything too crazy. Didn't have to lunge in. Just a simple tackle. Amadezovic actually cleans up Jack Robinson's mess there. But it's another corner to Sunderland. So, whilst I do think Sheffield United look the more likely side to score attacking-wise, I think Sunderland are slowly combating this and they're growing into this game a bit. Can they be a bit more threatening in set pieces though? They've not really done that so far. Okay, they've clearly been practicing this corner, headed away by Tyrese Campbell. Gustavo Hamer has won the ball there. He could go all by himself there. You don't want to give Gustavo Hamer that space. That's a brilliant ball. Chance for Sheffield United to score, and they do. It is so simple. It's a brilliant counter-attacking goal from Sheffield United. They've scored in the 24th minute in the game. Tyrese Campbell with the opening goal. It is, I hope it's Tyrese Campbell. I think it is. It's 1-0 to Sheffield United. Imagine a playoff final that had been a relegation playoff. Oh, no, I don't know if I would have been able to cope with that. Wow. So let's see this again. It's from the corner. And they do kind of sense of what's going on. I mean, it is literally a very simple header. I think it is Tyrese Campbell that initially heads it. And Gustavo Hamer just runs throughout the whole length of the pitch, dragging 3 Sunderland players with him, so he frees up the space perfectly. Oh, it's a brilliant goal. It's a lovely finish. It's a brilliant goal. And it is all really down to the work of Gustavo Hamer dragging those 3 players. And it is Tyrese Campbell who has scored. Chris Wilder, unsurprisingly, ecstatic with that goal. Brilliant counter-attack. Gustavo Hamer, again, proving to be why he is one of the players of the season. Dragging those 3 Sunderland players with him. Frees up a perfectly weighted pass to find Tyrese Campbell running in perfect amount of space. Dinks the ball above Patterson into the goal. That is 1-0 Sheffield United. It is so straightforward. That's the quality Hamer brings. Well, I said it in the build-up. You don't want to give Hamer that amount of room. And they did. And even when they were trying to press him, they were not considering the run from Tyrese Campbell. So, a couple of defensive mistakes in that part from Sunderland there. But that is just, as Charlie has said, the quality of what Gustavo Hamer brings to the side. It is ridiculous the talent he's got. And he'll be one I expect him to probably stay on as a Sheffield United player. I mean, he was featured quite a little bit in their Premier League squad. And as it stands, Sheffield United will have an instant return to the Premier League with Burnley, who they were also relegated with, and of course with Leeds. Sheffield United fans are ecstatic. And if you remember, both Sunderland and Sheffield United have a very poor playoff final record. So one of these sides will certainly, add a bit of sweetness. Oh, chance for Moyenda! Oh, it's not even just, it's way over. But just almost out of nothing. It's a brilliant cross from Trihume. It's a perfect cross. And Moyenda just leans back. He doesn't get I almost feel like he's not quite expecting to win the header, but he does. And it's way over. You'll be a bit disappointed about Moyenda. If he got that on target, that would have been a really good, probably in like a 0.7 at least XG chance from Moyenda if he guarded that on target. Bit of head tennis again, although Chowdhury just missed that one. Moyenda really starting to get physical now. He's got to be very careful. Certainly the experience of Sheffield United is showing here. They've got the opening goal. I did say that Sheffield United are the favourites still for me. Let's see what Sunderland could do to potentially muster a response. Long ball going in. And it's not going to be won. Too much power on that one. 28 minutes in. 1-0 Sheffield United. Certainly have been slightly the better side. I think actually when they did score Sheffield United, it was actually when Sunderland was slowly starting to creep back into the game. I think next year's his last and he'll move on. Well, Hamer. Depends who's interested in him. Certainly just down to whoever's interested in Gustavo Hamer. I'll be interested to kind of hear like the transfer. Uh-oh, I'm losing connection here. No, why? What's going on? Please don't disconnect. Oh my gosh, I had a brief heart attack here. So if you wouldn't have known about this, but I've had issues with my Skybox for about 2 months now, trying to connect it. And I realised actually it was because I was trying to hook up on the Wi-Fi instead of trying to use another hub that was disconnected initially because we had a guest staying of where that hub was there, and that needed to be unplugged for like their devices and stuff. As soon as I realised that was disconnected and I reconnected the hub, then ultimately my TV just started working again. So had a brief moment of panic, but it is back on, and I'm seeing a very physical challenge between Moyenda and Chowdhury. Mundle, sorry. And yeah, free kick has been awarded in favour of Sheffield United. Okay, so goal kick now awarded for Sheffield United. And we're 30 minutes gone, so 15 minutes until half time. What is everyone's thoughts currently on this game? Is it exactly what you predicted? It's, I mean, the way that the game is going is almost as expected as what I could say. Certainly Sheffield United. There's the sneeze. If you were there at the start of the stream, you would have known that I was holding a sneeze. It suddenly disappeared, and now it's appeared. It took me so much by surprise, I couldn't even mute myself. I wanted to mute myself as I was doing the sneeze. Oh, goodness. That actually really hurt me. We'll have 2 attacking zones, a neutral zone in our soccer if you skate into the attacking zone, and you'll be called offside. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see if you play quite centrally, that will work quite well, but I think it will just benefit. This sort of thing, I think, will certainly benefit teams that play a bit more wide and a little bit more than teams that play a bit centrally. I think when you are going to introduce rules about certain parts of the pitch that is not the halfway line, you do have to consider about how each side is set up in that way. But I think certainly they can make something work out of that. It certainly frees up a bit more space of the game not being, in an offside position, which I think is better. It's just working it right, just so that any team that plays in any sort of way doesn't find it a little bit awkward to just make the right sort of way around it. Okay. Sunderland now with a small spell of possession. Oh, is the audio okay, by the way? I don't know if the audio is a little bit too spiky or loud. If it's a bit loud, let me know. I'll adjust it. Churkin. Mundle. Great defending by Chowdhury there. Brilliant. I think it's a goal kick as well. Even better defending by Chowdhury. Amazing stuff. So attention being put on Chris Metham a bit. I'd like to know why. So Chris Metham's standing on the D at the moment. I mean, he's just nowhere near quick enough to catch Hamer. And then that is when Churkin's dragged out of play. Oh, that's where it goes. It's hard to say if 09 would have coped with that better. But they're focusing a bit on Chris Metham being way too slow to catch Gustavo Hamer, which has led to Churkin moving and essentially freeing up the space for Campbell. So I'd say a little bit of fault of Metham's speed. I mean, Metham can't do anything with how quick he is, but it's just, again, it's a very unfortunate situation that Sunderland put themselves where they put so many people forward. Churkin was the only one that was back, and ultimately that just left them way too exposed. But again, you can't take the quality away from Hamer. Brilliant. And he's taking a corner right now, actually. See how that goes. Good defending. Volley. Oh, what a goal. Oh, my gosh. Can we say game over already? What a strike that is. Who scored that? What an amazing goal. Just outside the box as well. It is already 2-0 to Sheffield United. 33 minutes in. Is it game over? Is it? I think that may have been Harrison Burrows. It was. What a strike. What a strike from the fullback. Let's see this again. So Gustavo Hamer takes a corner. It's defended well by Ballard. Just outside of the D. Oh, what a strike that is. I think there's VAR in this one. So they may be thinking, is someone in an offside position that's putting off Patterson? I don't think anyone is. That is a volley. And that's an amazing goal. But they are checking VAR. They're going to check to see who is that in front of Patterson here. It is, oh god, number 23. Is that Tyrese Campbell? Or is that possible offside? So, no, it's not. It is number, oh god, what is that? Who is that? Is that Amadezovic, who is in front of the keeper? Oh, it could be offside. That will be so unfortunate if that's disallowed, because that is a quality goal from Burrows. So the referee's going to look himself. And typically, I think, is that Paul Tierney who's doing that as well? Typically, when a referee looks, he's going to disallow it. Oh dear. I can't quite see who it was. Who is the player in front of Patterson? So they're looking at... So there's two players... There's two Sheffield United players that are quite close to him. It definitely doesn't hit... if it does go for Kiefer Moore, then it definitely... He's not the one in the offside position. It's number 21 that they're looking at. That's Vinicius. Vinicius might be in an offside position in line with a goalkeeper. Paultini looks like he's going to... Yeah, offside for interfering player. Yeah, so that's going to be on Vinicius. Decision is... Is he going to announce it? Oh, he's going to announce it, I think. Well, I've not got audio, so I'm not going to be able to hear him. I need to see him do whatever gesture, whether it's the point for the goal or whether it's the arm up for disallowing. It's disallowed. No goal. Wow, that is a cruel way to disallow that goal. But it's Vinicius who has interfered in play. And do you know what that is? It is just very... Not brain dead, but it's just very silly positioning from Vinicius. Because he has no way needs to be in that position at all. He's just denied what was an amazing goal from Harrison Burrows just from standing in a position where he never needed to be in. He tried to get out of the way of it, but he was clearly interfering in play with Anthony Patterson. That is so disappointing when you see a quality goal like that disallowed just from other players on your team just not quite thinking about where they're positioning themselves. Get Alex on VAR. Well, it's silly. Silly just moment there to disallow that goal. I've not seen a lot of Vinicius. He's done okay, but that is one moment that he would not want to remember. He has certainly cost Sheffield United from being in a very comfortable position. Certainly didn't need to be anywhere near the position he was in. Even if he just ran to the opposite direction, away from the goalkeeper, I actually think it would have been given. Yeah, I know. It's just like... I knew as soon as they paused the replay to check where he was shooting, I was thinking, oh no, please don't. Because they were in the huddle and everything. Sheffield United would have been so happy. God, that's a cruel way for Sheffield United to not be 2-0 up. And it could even be more punishing if Sunderland get a goal here. They're on the attack at the moment. Try whom? Cross comes in. Oh, an audacious bicycle kick by Chris Rigg. He doesn't quite time it right. Yeah, but I've noticed that more in Prem games, honestly, Charlie, that players are not celebrating nowhere near as crazy as they are anymore. And by the time VAR does give them a decision, good or bad, and if it's a good one where they can celebrate, they can't do it because then by that time kickoff happens. So it does take the fun away from celebrating. It really does. Still not too sure Sunderland keeper could still see the Sheffield United fullback ready to take the shot. It's a very sceptical one. I need to keep seeing it. But I do think Vinicius nowhere near needs to be anywhere as close as he was to Patterson. He ran in his direction to try and get away from the shot. I get that. But if he ran in the other direction away from Patterson, I actually think that would have been okay. But he just wasn't quite thinking about his positioning and where the goalkeeper was. There was no sense of awareness there. So it's a very unfortunate way to disallow a goal, but it's also one that could easily be avoided if they had a bit more consideration of where they were standing on the penalty box. It's not the best of touches of Mundell. He is in offside position. Dark horse for the championship next season. Swansea could be one. Do I dare say someone like a Birmingham could do okay next year, maybe? Who knows? But I can see Swansea being a good team, but it's really going to be down to their transfer policy. But their form till now to the end of the season has been really good, Swansea. I will be very intrigued to see how Derby get on next year with a full season with John Eustace. Oxford. And, Gary Rowett, I think, could certainly, he makes a lemonade out of lemons. He does the best job, Gary Rowett, of getting a lot out of a little. And with a good transfer window, I think Oxford could be an interesting side next year. I would just be very interested to see if they might suffer with a second season syndrome. Chance for Sunderland to equalise is still possible. Oh yeah, absolutely. With it being only one goal in it, absolutely. But here's a chance for Sheffield United here. Kiefer Moore with the cross. Oh, it's not the best of cross. Can't quite find Tyrese Campbell. And it's actually awarded as a Sunderland throw. It must have come off Sheffield United. With I know it's because the cross was not the best from Kiefer Moore at all. Definitely onside. Yeah, just not the best of cross. Yeah, Millwall was a very strange one. I see Millwall being one that a lot of people get either really right or really wrong. It's so difficult to call them. Alex Neil, though, I will argue, I think he can get a decent job with Millwall. If there's any team I'm a bit worried about next season, Hull, for a start, will be one. Preston, arguably, but they've got a good manager, but I just don't know about their strikers. They've not scored enough goals. So they need to inspire me more with their striker options. I know they've been linked with Iverson. I don't know if they've been confirmed to get him back in goal, because I know he's been a really good goalkeeper, but I'd arguably say Freddie Woodman's also been really good in goal. So I think they need to focus more on getting a striker that's going to score at least 15 goals. QPR. Oh, yeah, true. Now, the thing is with QPR, is that what with Charlie Kelman? Is he like... You got to remind me of Charlie Kelman, because he was in Leyton Orient this season, I think. Was he on loan from... I don't know if he was a loan player or if QPR signed him from Leyton Orient. That will be interesting to see how they go. Yeah, guy at Leyton Orient, yeah. I knew that because they showed a stat on him just now about him. Oh, he's on loan. Oh, I see. Okay, that's what I thought. Well, it's nice to see Loco Line being consoled by the Sunderland bench. It's good to see. Yes, I do know about that. What, 215 games? It's about time they did, but it's still going... Well, it will mean that they'll try and justify getting an obscene price for their membership then. Vijay's reminiscing about Tom Cleverley. Yeah, I've got to say, Watford might be another one that I will be keeping my eye on a bit negatively, depending who they bring in. I wouldn't say Watford have been a team on decline. I actually think Cleverley stopped for what potentially could have been a really big decline from Watford, and have just steadied things slightly. It was nowhere near for levels that they're used to in the Championship, but he at least steadied things. Here's a good bit of skill from Mundell, but good recovery tackles from Sheffield United, preventing a potential good solo goal there. Now here comes Sheffield United on the attack. Here's Ryan Brewster, who's passing back. Chowdhury. I would have never seen Chowdhury as a right back, but Chris Wilder has done really, really well. He's been flourishing in that role this season. Oh, right. Well, I've already heard about Ajax's title chokes because I've already seen the Mo Rootweghorst pushing the camera. I've heard about it. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people were saying, the title's wrapped up, Ajax going to win it. But then, no, they took their eye off the ball for way too long, unfortunately. It is. Ooh. Slight half chance for Sheffield United there. But, yeah, nothing materialised in the end. Just with it nearly been half time, I think now's a good time to see how each team is performing. Like, what are the stats looking like at the moment? 0.9 XG. I mean, a lot of that's probably going to be down to Kiefer Moore's chance at the start of the game. Only 0.2 from Sunderland. 8 minutes of added time. I said at least 5, but then actually, when you consider that goal and the VAR, I think 8 minutes is actually a fair bit of added time. 2 big chances to 1, 4 shots to 1. I mean, that save from Patterson, that could be a very important save coming the end of the game if it ends up as a draw or a Sunderland win. Free kicks 4-2, tackles 9-4, 184 and 121 in passes. Possession 60% to 40%. So Sunderland having more of the ball, which I think is actually quite interesting. Because of the fact of Sunderland having more of the ball, they've not been anywhere near effective going forward. Sheffield United have actually allowed them to have the ball a bit. Very interesting bit of play there. 8 minutes. Yes, I think that's fair, was a Gorman fan. So Luke O'Nien was down for 5 minutes from an injury. I'm going to suspect he dislocated his shoulder or his arm. Then we had the goal, which would have taken at least 1 or 2 minutes. And then we also had the VAR decision as well, which that would have added a couple of minutes on as well. You know, I think 8 minutes sounds obscene, but when I've watched the game from now to where it is, I think that is actually, strangely enough, a fair amount of added time. It's terrible for Ajax, isn't it, Johnny? Yeah, it's not great. Very, very bad title choke indeed. And you just got to think about what it will do to the players as well. You know, just even mentioning the records at the moment is just one moment, but you've got to think of how the younger players would have felt about that as well, to throw it away as well. And the experienced players have really lost it too. So, I don't know. When you see like a choke like that, it can break a team. It will be interesting to see how they do pick themselves up from next season. Corner to Sunderland. We still have 6 minutes of the 8 minutes left to play. Here's Enzo Lafie, who I've not seen a lot of in this game so far. But he's taken the corner, headed away by Ryan Brewster. I've got to say, what I've noticed with the attacking players, they have actually done a fair bit well defensively, as well as going forward as well. Brilliant clearance from Harrison Burrows there to prevent another cross coming in. And now Sunderland have now got to pick that up and try and go again. So, with half-time approaching, do feel free to ask me some questions. I will be going through some stuff as well. I might surprise Matt and give him a surprise donation. You never know. I'm feeling a bit generous today. Either way, we will be talking through how the game is going at the moment. Just got to make sure that I'm not... I've got a decent amount of account, to be fair. I'm also being paid Tuesday, I think. Yeah, so got a decent amount coming in. Right, Mundo with a cross. Oh, decent bit of defending by Amadezovic. Looks like Sunderland have actually started to attack this a bit. I do argue whether if it's Sheffield United kind of sitting back hoping for half time. I think it's more or less that. I think Sheffield United have been actually out battling Sunderland physically, but Sunderland have already shown it, probably because Sheffield United are keeping their foot off the pedal a little bit, knowing that half time is close. But with 8 minutes, that's a long time in football. Is a free kick going to be given? I don't think a free kick's going to be given now. I'm a bit shocked it wasn't. Yeah. So a challenge by Vinicius there, but it wasn't given as a free kick. Ball coming in. Brilliant bit of pressing from Dan Ballard. Joe Bellingham to Dan Neal. Try who hasn't got a load of options. He's already bringing it back. Okay, Chris Meffin. It'd be really harsh to blame Chris Meffin for that goal, but unfortunately, with how slow he is, he was never going to catch Gustavo Hamer. He already had so much of the pitch ahead of him already. Okay. Here's Chris Rigg. Really did well there, actually. Try whom? Can he get a good cross in? That's a decent cross, but Hamza Chowdhury wins it. Dan Neil. Rigg again. Back to Neil. Heel cross this time. Not the best across. Rigg with the shot. It's a shot on target at least. Not the best one. He's really frustrating himself with that. But yeah, it's an easy save from Cooper, unfortunately, for Sunderland's part. Probably didn't need to take that first time, in all honesty. I think he could have taken a touch and really levered it. Yeah, so I think part of it, because of how well organised Sheff and I have been and how physical they've been, I think Sunderland are kind of feeling the pressure of just trying to take things really quickly. But actually, I think if you just manoeuvre your way around the press from Sheffield United, I think you can find space from that. So we've got 3 minutes left of the added time being played. So we're in the 50th minute now. So this is going to be a very long half of football. Right, here we go. Mundell. He's got a couple of players to deal with. Oh, this will be a good run if Enzo Levy gets this off. It was a really good run, but again, good defending by Ahmedzovic and Hamza Chowdhury. Throw in for Sunderland. Cherkin. Is it Sirkin or Cherkin? I'm probably say Sirkin. Enzo Levy with the cross. They want a handball. It won't be given. It'll be very harsh if it was given, honestly. But I think there's another throw into Sunderland. Sunderland pressing a little bit. Oh no, offside is given. Someone was offside, clearly. Or are they flagging the handball? I felt like it went off his head rather than his arm. Yeah, no, it wasn't given. That's what I thought. I thought they couldn't give that as a handball. I thought that would have been really harsh if they did. Okay then, so we are 1 minute away to half time. Ooh, some players are slipping over there. They can't really afford that at the moment, but they have won the ball back, to be fair. Ball back to Patterson. Sheff and I are not pressing. They don't need to. They've got a goal advantage. They'd want to make sure that they're still in the lead going to half time. Yeah, so that's what I figured. I figured that was Paul. Was it? I'm going to definitely double check if that was Paul Tierney. But I think that's what we need, just to give the fans some decent bit of communication of what is going on when things are going around. But yeah, the halftime whistle has just gone. Sheffield United with the opening goal. It was Tyrese Campbell after a brilliant counter-attack from a Sunderland corner, led mainly by Gustavo Hamer. Sheffield United for their second goal with Harrison Burrows. A brilliant strike initially, but it did look like that Vinicius was interfering in play with the goalkeeper in an offside position. So the goal was disallowed. Kiefer Moore in the opening minute and a half could have opened the scoring for Sheffield United, but a brilliant save from Anthony Patterson. And that head-to-head challenge actually led to Luke O'Nien injuring himself, looking like he may have dislocated his arm or his shoulder during that challenge. So 3 moments have really dominated this game so far, all in that first half. All I can hope is that in the second half, we get something along the lines like this as well. So in half time, it is Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 0. Sheffield United 45 minutes away to make an immediate return back into the Premier League. So that is half time. So everyone, you do have a chance to ask me with some questions. It's Chris Kavanagh. Sorry, I said Paul Tierney. No, I thought it wasn't Paul Tierney. I thought he's gone bald. Yeah, Chris Kavanagh is the referee for this game, which I Initially did think it was that, but I don't know why I didn't think it was. Right, so I will go through stats at some point, but we have got 15 minutes to kill here, so you guys do have a chance to ask me some questions. I think I might jump on match stream ever so quickly if I can. Although I don't have my headphones, so I really hoped that I was able to hear what he has to say. But yeah, 1-0 Sheffield United. Have to say that's the exact score that I predicted in this game so far. Could it end goalless in the second half? Don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. But yeah, I agree with Johnny's point that I'd like referees to be making these decisions more often. I think it really does help just for fans just to hear something, just so that they can have a bit of clarity about why things are disallowed and what happens. VAR only really tells half of the story, to be honest. So I'm just trying to multitask here. Okay, so in terms of how this channel is going to be going in the next couple of weeks or so, it's hard to say. I mean, definitely going to be very quiet this week and next week because of exams. But it's going to be a strange feeling from June onwards. I have no exams, so I have got time, but I need to figure out my life. You know, I don't want to bore you guys with that, but I need to, because I'm getting really tired a lot. So I'm arguably thinking that I'm not giving myself the right diet to function properly. So I need to figure that out, and ideally, I need to catch up with people. I've not, seen proper meetups with friends for ages. Probably not even one meetup this year. So definitely need to sort all those, I was going to say admin stuff, but just these typical life stuff. But essentially when I'm recharged, I'm certainly going to be going harder than ever. I certainly was leaning in towards giving this up like a couple of weeks ago, seeing how slow I was growing this year. But now that I know that I've got no more exams, it does give me a little bit of hope that maybe I could find a routine that can make me post a little bit more often and can make this work. Okay, sorry about that. I can't type, clearly. Alright, there we go. That's now sorted. Nice. Okay. I will deliver the stats pretty much around now. I think now's a good time to do so. So let's now jump into capture and see what we have going on here. Hang on. Oh, hello. I can't type. There we go. 1-0. You can see here from, looking back at Campbell's goal. So it happened 25 minutes in. It was, it all came round from a corner from Sunderland. Headed clear. Was it Campbell that actually headed it clear? The camera doesn't really help me at all, because I like to say it's Campbell that actually heads the corner clear, and he's the one that runs the entire length of the pitch to score. If that is the case, that is amazing fitness to run from there to the other half, the other end of the pitch, and to still have the composure to dink it past the goalkeeper. That is amazing form to do that. That's amazing, in fact. So, yeah, brilliant moment. That is the one moment that's defining the goal. So, it is Sheffield United who started. Then Sunderland had a tiny bit, but, it's generous to say to say the least. But yeah, they're saying 70 seconds in, Patterson made the save. That is amazing, actually. That was actually how quick it was. That is how Luca and I went down. I've seen it again. I mean, I don't really want to see the details of it. I mean, what a save that is. If Patterson did not have a strong hand on that, that would have trickled into the net. And then, yeah, the Barra's disallowed goal. I mean, that is a volley from just outside of the D. That is an amazing quality goal. But I think you see, if you look at the left of Patterson, it is Vinicius that definitely intervenes in an offside position. If he just was not running towards the ball, I think he would have been okay, personally. But it's a frustrating one for Sheffield United to not be in the lead, because it is certainly, if just with better positioning from the Sheffield United players, it would have been so avoidable, that disallowed goal. But how do Sunderland bring this back up? I mean, I've not seen enough going forward. I like to see Isidore go on. I like to see Patrick Roberts eventually get some minutes as well. Anyone who I think has been a bit quiet? I mean, I've mentioned all of these 11 players at one point in the game. It's hard to say who I think is struggling. I think Chris Rigg, I would keep my eye on him. I think he's looking a bit frustrated, and the occasion, I would dare say, probably is getting the better of him a bit. Enzo Lafay's had a bit of a quiet game. I say Mayenda's certainly been a bit more threatening as a striker than Enzo Lafay has been. Mundell's growing into it. It's not been too bad. But yeah, midfield-wise, can't really say I would change so much there. So yeah, it's a tough one, this. It's a tough one, this. It's hard for me to suggest what I think I would do. And by the way, we've just had people join from Matt's stream. Thank you so much, Glenio and Sonnyson. Thank you so much for briefly jumping onto my stream. It's really, really kind of you. No, it's all right. Thank you so much. It's one content creator helping another one, essentially. It's you know, it's all done with good hearts here. We're all friends at the end of the day. So yeah, we're just both football fans, just enjoying what we're seeing on Wembley, which ultimately, 3 moments are defining this game at the moment. We've got the incredible save from Patterson, which led to 09 getting injured, which I don't know the extent of the injury, clutching his upper arm. I fear it may be a dislocation. I'm hoping it's not the case. Then the second moment would have been the goal itself from a corner, which, if it was Campbell that headed the initial corner, the corner, I think it was the corner. Well, they played it short, didn't they? And then it was a cross. If it was him that actually headed it out and he ran the entire length of the pitch to score, amazing fitness from that part. But Gustavo Hamer showing the quality. Chris Methven kind of showing his lack of pace, therefore, not quite catching up within. Shirkin had to leave his position, opening the space for Campbell to run through and dink the ball over Patterson. And then, yeah, moment 3, of course, you know, everyone's going to be speaking about the disallowed goal. Just honestly an amazing goal, but very unfortunate in the way that it disallowed. I think if Vinicius was just a bit more aware of his positioning, I think it would have been a really, really good goal. It would have been. So yeah, big moments in that game, and 3 of them, you know, it's absolutely amazing of that. So I'm hoping the second half is going to feature just as much drama as this one. Let's actually just quickly go back to the catch. I was a little bit distracted there. What do Sheffield United do? I mean, honestly, I think they've got it spot on. Peck was the one player I've not really noticed a lot in this game so far, but the rest I have mentioned quite a few amount of times about their contribution. So I would dare say, I think the midfield for Sunderland are doing okay, but going forward they're not offering enough. Defensively, they're doing okay, but yeah, it's their forward play that Sunderland are lacking in at the moment. So substitution-wise, I like Reggie Debris to think positively improving their attack. And for Sheffield United's point of view, they just got to make sure that they keep most of the same players in the squad, and just to make sure that if things do change in terms of the way that the game's going, that they make sure that they keep their cool and composure on that. I've not seen Matt's reaction, by the way, but it's an amazing one, actually, to be fair. Right, we are a couple of minutes away to the second half. I've made my peace in terms of who I probably would recommend making changes for. I mean, Sheffield United, I don't think they really ought to change much at all. If anything, maybe just having a bit more control in their midfield. That's really all I could think of, because it's Sunderland that's having most of the ball, but Sheffield United are effectively attacking without the ball. They're doing really, really well. I know it sounds crazy, but what do you think if the playoff semi-finals in the Championship League 1 and League 2 were a best of 3? If it's still after regulation, no extra time, straight to pens. Ooh, I'm a bit sceptical of this. Okay, so in short, let's say it's the equivalent of both games ending 1-0 to the home team. I do no extra time, straight to penalties. Potentially that could work. What if, I mean, in terms of best 3, are you saying that they play at their home in their respective grounds, and then maybe the third game is at a neutral ground or something? I mean, I don't see the neutral ground working perfectly for everyone, because I think everyone's going to, especially if there's like a big distance in terms of where they are geographically, I don't think that would work. But if you're saying that it's going to be, well, if it's straight to pens and no extra times, that I'm not particularly against. But again, we've seen some amazing moments this season where extra time has been a really crucial part of it. Oh, is that Simon Jordan? It is Simon Jordan, isn't it? Yeah, so they're doing a lot for CPR, to be fair. Of the highest seeded teams getting 2 games. Oh, okay. So not even like the lower seeded side getting a home game. Okay. I do think it's quite important for both seeds to have a home advantage in one way or another. But in terms of the changes, I'm not too against of how it is at the moment. I think that Dan Ballard last-minute goal in the playoff semi-final this year reminded me the importance of extra time. It really has. What do you think of Coventry and Wrexham in the same league next season? Bonkers, but I cannot wait to see how they're going to play against each other. In fact, I just can't wait for Wrexham. I am so excited, and one slight moment of glory that I'll get with Ipswich going down to the Championship, I'm going to have a much better opportunity to go to their games. It was close to impossible for going to any Ipswich games for me last season. It was a tough one for me. I was finding it really tough to get tickets. But I certainly am going to have a bit more of a chance to do so. But either way, you know, if Ipswich's expectations are so high, maybe I might struggle still. And I can definitely imagine the games, you know, against the Birminghams, Wrexhams, who else? Southamptons, Leicesters. Those games are going to be very tough to get into, I think. So, in terms of, I mean, I like Ipswich, but I wouldn't say I full-heartedly support them. And actually, this is something I've not shared with you guys yet. I'm rarely working in the Ipswich office now. I'm more or less working in Colchester a little bit more now. So, you know, all these sorts of chats I'm having about Ipswich Town are slowly disappearing, because whilst I still work the odd day in Ipswich, it is nowhere near as much as normal. And that's part of my sort of personal life improvement, is the fact that I'm saving myself so much time actually working in Colchester now. Now, having said, well, I was just speaking about that. Second half has just gone underway now. Let's just time this right. I've not got the timer ready. Right, oh, it's going to be a little bit behind, but a couple of seconds behind I can cope with. But here we go. This could be 45 minutes away from Sheffield United being a Premier League team again. So yeah, like Ipswich, simply because I work in an Ipswich office, and actually each time I work in Ipswich, I have to walk past Portman Road to get to work. It's always a nice reminder of the odd couple of games I've been at Portman Road. And actually, been to Portman Road a couple of times in League when Ipswich were in League 1, a couple of times in the Championship. I've got to say, in the Championship, I met some really good people there at Portman Road. Nice fan base as a whole, and I'm going to say as a whole in as a clear quotation marks. And would it be? And would you? Well, I mean, and I bumped into Alex Griffin, but he clearly did not know who I was. And you know what? I was not even going to try and say hello to him, but I saw him in a Whittam. What's this? It's like a petrol station. What's the thing called? I know. It's like, is it BP garage? I think. BP petrol station. Yeah. So I was. So this was when Ipswich were playing Southampton, and he was going to an away game against Southampton. I say my squad. My company were going in the opposite direction. We were going to Fort Park on that day. And we stopped at Whittam BP service station to get some. I don't know what people were getting. I don't know if they definitely weren't getting drinks and stuff. They were just getting food and water probably. And yeah, Alex Griffin was definitely there. Recognised him instantly, but I didn't bother to say hello. Yeah, when I'm thinking back, I feel like I should have said something, because just what if the odd chance he has known about my channel, but. I don't know. It's one that, if looking back, I probably would have done things a bit differently there. But I know for a fact I saw him. I knew for a fact. And you know what they were getting? They were just getting beer. They were just getting booze to basically start their travels up to Southampton, which I don't blame them for. Right, enough of backtracking. Let's actually go through about this game. This was like the moment where I laid eyes on Alex Griffin, but he didn't recognise me. Right, let's go and continue for the rest of this game. So, ball comes in to Sunderland's point of view. It's a throw-in to Sunderland. No team has really started with any sort of intensity so far. Gosh, blimey, it's 4:15 already. Time just disappear when you are doing these sorts of commentaries. Right, here's a good chance for Chris Rigg. Oh, he kind of mucks it up completely. Oh, it's not been the best of games from Chris Rigg, I've got to be honest. He's certainly had a lot better. But Sunderland's certainly showing their intensity. This is what Sunderland will be wanting to see. I think Sunderland are attacking towards the Sunderland crowd, and that, I think, actually might help them. It might give them a bit more encouragement. Although, that will mean Sheffield United attacking in front of their crowd. So, either way, it's going to make for a very interesting second half affair. Okay, here comes Mundle again against Chowdhury. He doesn't get the best of crosses. It's a tackle, but it's back to Mundle. Blocked again. That's going to be a corner. A lot of people want to do is about the players to remove as much jeopardy for the team finishing outside of the automatics. Even a second leg at home for them isn't enough. As much jeopardy for the team finishing the highest outside of the automatics. Oh, okay. So to essentially... yeah, okay. I get that. Punched away by Cooper. Yeah, okay, it's good goalkeeping there. One stated here that a lot of people want to remove as much jeopardy for the team finishing the highest outside of overtime. Even a second leg at home for them isn't enough. I'd like to wonder why that would be the case. So they want to remove as much danger for the team for the finishing highest. Whether that's down to them wanting the third best team to have a bit more of an advantage, or whether, yeah, I don't know. Kind of mixed on that. You're right, Gatsby. You've suddenly moved from one end to the other. You're a little bit more awake now, which is nice to see. Okay, focus. Mundle now against Tyrese Campbell. He's having a little bit of freedom. Oh, that is so disappointing. He just completely sliced that shot. Yeah, brutal suggestions top three go up. I mean, I think we can't. We have to keep the playoffs as it is. I mean, it's is when you have moments like this where, because I know Sheffield United points-wise have been so much better than the other teams in that position. But you then see miracle teams go up from, finishing 5th or 6th and have done well for themselves for a couple of years. I would look at Huddersfield as being a good example of a team that's done that. Anyone else that I can think of? I mean, when you finish 6th, I think it's quite rare for a team finishing 6th to win the playoffs, in all honesty. It will be nice to see one of Sunderland and Sheffield United go back. So either way, I'm quite content with who does go up. But in terms of who I would prefer to go up, just for a little bit more variety, it would be Sunderland, sorry. Because it does feel a bit predictable about how Sheffield United and especially Burnley are going to perform in the Prem. Leeds is always a wild card, but I'm still a bit nervous with Daniel Farke having another Premier League season. Oh, Blackpool. Yeah, Blackpool's a good example. Yeah, good one. Well, Blackpool didn't stay up in the end, but they obviously had a really good go. All chance for Sunderland. Joe Bellingham. No, he's passed it back to Dan Neil. Trihome, sorry. Enzo Lafay loses it. Good defending, and Jack Robertson clears. Crystal Palace is a very good example because you've seen them now. They are now a staple Premier League club. This could be a good chance for Sheffield United on a counter-attack again. Kiefer Moore this time. He's got options, but it's well defended. It's not quite cleared yet. Ryan Brewster, great tackle again. Referee's going to say no pen to that, which I agree with. Wow. Okay, Sunderland managed to recover themselves this time. But this is another moment of Sunderland actually holding on to the ball, losing it, and Sheffield United playing on your counter-attack. This has been a game plan that actually Sheffield United have executed by allowing Sunderland to have more of the ball. And Sunderland have played better actually without the ball. So it's part of the experience, isn't it? It's like, go on then, try and play through us. And then right there, you're seeing Sheffield United just punishing Sunderland each time they do lose the ball. Another spell for Sunderland where it does feel like to me that Sunderland are going to accept that they are going to be the team that control possession. But with that just comes with a little bit of risk of not being able to break your opposition down. And Sheffield United on the whole have looked very solid. Cooper has only made one save and I could have saved that shot. And I'm not even saying it because I'm not good in goal at all. God, excuse me. Again, what's some indigestion? Right. Good bit of play from Sunderland there. Oh, that's a delicious cross. But it doesn't find anyone. And Chowdhury does enough to get enough of a touch on it. Ryan Brewster supports him very well, actually, to keep the ball in play. Chirkin. Oh, that's going to be a foul. Yeah, that's a foul. That's a poor challenge by my ender there. Have we had any yellow cards? I don't think we've had a single yellow or red card so far. I got to say, I think that's actually a really good challenge. I don't think a penalty would have been given for that. Chris Wilder may not have been happy it wasn't a pen, but I think that was a fair challenge. I think that's perfectly fair. Okay, we're 54 minutes in. I hope I'm not seeing Oliver Cooper already trying to time waste. One thing that really infuriated me when I watched Chelsea quite recently against Manchester United was the extreme levels of time wasting, and especially when you saw how ineffective Manchester United have been going forward of scoring goals. You saw that against Chelsea and Spurs, of course. It infuriated me that Chelsea weren't anywhere near trying to get the second. And when they did have the chance for the second, you just had players that actually missed chances that were easier to score than to miss. It was so infuriating. Oh, I do fear for Nottingham Forest tomorrow. I am very nervous. Can't lie. Very nervous. Right, this could be a good chance for Sunderland again, Sirkin. But Chowdhury has done so well in that fullback role. I swear we see this, I don't know every season, but a good couple of seasons at a time, we see a player in a completely new position and they become a brand new player and actually unlock another part of their game. And Chowdhury at right back is one of those examples. He has done so well. You forget how quick he is, Chowdhury, actually. And he has proven that there. And he always had the physicality. If anything, he was a bit too much in the midfield at times. We saw it at Watford, saw it at times at Leicester as well. But here, I think he's got it perfectly. I think he's got his, his exact position. At his current stage of his career, he's currently playing his best football there. It does look like to me that Patrick Roberts is about to go onto the pitch. Gustavo Hamer with a delightful ball. What a ball that is. Gustavo Hamer's a joke of a player, honestly. What an amazing performance he's already having. The touch looks like that it was actually well controlled by Tyrese Campbell, but unfortunately he didn't quite get enough control on it. Now here comes Sunderland again. Enzo Lafay going by himself and well blocked by Jack Robinson. Sirkin, oh, what a poor ball that is. Luca Knight, wait. No, Dan Neil, sorry. That read as 09 to me. No, not Neil. Oh, that's a really poor ball by Dan Neil. Big wasted opportunity there. But I was saying, going forward, it does feel to me Sunderland look a little bit more likely for Sheffield United now to score a goal. It does look like that is Patrick Roberts going onto the pitch, who I did suggest as one of my substitutions from half-time. And Chris Rigg, who I literally did say, keep an eye on him, because I don't think he's having the best of games. It's like I called that substitution already. Right. I wouldn't have predicted it would have been that soon in the game, but actually I think that's better for Sunderland. Oh gosh, yeah. 09 is in head arm sling. I think he's dislocated probably either his lower arm or his shoulder. Oh dear. First yellow card. And it's happening in the 58th minute. And I believe it's to... Oh, yeah, that's not a good challenge at all. It does look like it's to Ryan Brewster. Ryan Brewster with the first yellow card of the game. Sheffield United picking up the first yellow card. It's very quiet in the stream now, which I did expect, When as soon as I knew Matt was streaming, I thought, right, I'm going to struggle here today. But ultimately, I did want to give people an opportunity to see me properly. Excuse me. Right, okay. Here is... Oh, that's Peck, actually. A little bit of a run from him, but well defended. Which is what I've seen for a lot of this game. He's been outmuscled a little bit, Peck. Which is why he's not really featured a lot of the ball at all for Sheffield United. But what they've done really well, United, they've been able to kind of play around their weaknesses and maybe their physicality in that area of the midfield, and they've been able to put a lot of pressure by actually stretching Sunderland's players out of their positions. It's exactly what they did for the goal. So, Sheffield United with a small spell of possession now, but we are entering the 60th minute, so 30 minutes away, it will be Sheffield United who will return back up to the promised land in the first tier of English football. And cue the inevitable 100% of people who will be predicting Sheffield United to be rock bottom. The cheek of that. Sorry, I'm just reading a post from my company. They're saying that they've got like a vacancy spot in like in the Ipswich office, but that's because they've transferred me to Colchester. The cheek of that. Oh, look at that. That's very cheeky. Right. Okay. So still 1-0 to Sheffield United. 30 minutes till we see potentially Sheffield United going back up to the Prem. That's the length of time that Sunderland have to also equalise or to maybe win the game themselves. I am sensing a double substitution emerging soon from Sheffield United. That's definitely going to be Callum O'Hare, and I believe that's Brooks that they're believing that they could bring on as well. Long throw in there. Patterson does catch the ball very, very well. Good strength from him there. Can Sunderland use this moment to press? No, but Patterson is a bit slow to release the ball. I would have been a bit disappointed with my goalkeeper if he took as long as that to release the ball. And look how many, there's like 8 red and white shirts already back. So you need to be quick in these areas. And Sunderland have just not been as quick, in their fast breaks as they have been. That's an interesting ball. It's not. It's a rubbish one, unfortunately. And their final ball to find their strikers has not been good enough at all, either. Right. They are waiting for the ball to go out of play because Sheffield United do have 2 players they want to bring onto the pitch. O'Hare, and I believe that's Brooks, who are also going to bring on as well. Sheffield United on the attack. And, yeah, they're passing it back. Oh my gosh, got so much indigestion today. Right, Oliver Cooper, going to pass it out from the back. Feels a bit slow. This is certainly the tough period of the game that we're going to try and watch now. Oh, Murray, let's not fall asleep now. Come on, we can do this. Final couple, well, not the final couple of minutes just yet. Let's not panic too much. Still got a lot of a game to go. 28 minutes. A lot can happen in 28 minutes. We nearly had an entire goal happen within 70 seconds. So that should tell you how much time we have left. I'm still surprised I've not seen Isidore go on the pitch yet for Sunderland, if I've got to be honest. He must have either had an injury that I wasn't aware about, or if it was like an interesting tactical decision from Labrie. But Sheffield United having a spell of possession which has not led them anywhere. They have lost the ball, but now they've got it back. See, when Sunderland are winning the ball, Sheffield United are finding a way to win the ball back from them very effectively. Okay, here's Hamer for Sheffield United. Oh, that was a delicious ball, but unfortunately, Moore didn't quite have the ball on his feet. That was a delicious through ball. Okay, here we go. Here come the subs. Callum O'Hare is going on first. Who's going off first? I don't actually know. Who's going off the pitch? Yeah, so Callum O'Hare going off first for number 23. That is Tyrese Campbell, isn't it? Okay. The goal scorer going off. Yeah, Tyrese Campbell going off. And it looks to me that Ryan Brewster's also going off as well. Yeah, so here's Tyrese Campbell. They're showing that moment again. What a moment that was. Yeah, definitely Tyrese Campbell going off for Callum O'Hare. Who's Brooks going on for? Yeah, Brooks is on the pitch. Yeah, and he is for Ryan Brewster. Okay, so Brewster and Campbell off. Brooks and O'Hare on. Interesting stuff. So that is 2 substitutions each from Sunderland and Sheffield United now. Obviously, Sunderland made a very early one in the first half with Luke O'Nien. Okay, Dan Ballard now. So Sunderland having a small bit of the ball in here now. They need to be a bit quicker with their movement for me. Sheffield United looking very comfortable. Okay. Referee Chris Kavanagh a little bit in the way of Joe Bellingham, although he has now picked it up. Sirkin. Yeah, Brewster has been subbed indeed. What is a fan? Oh, good play from Sunderland to get to this position. And good defending. It's a little bit more like it from Sunderland. Sirkin with an inviting cross. It wasn't the best cross in the world. Didn't have any height to it at all. Enzo Lafi is going to get the corner. Interesting stats. So Sunderland have had 6 corners. Sheffield United have only had 1. And that one corner for Sheffield United ended up in a goal. And that is telling me how clinical Sheffield United have been in the areas where the break of play is happening. Sunderland feeling a little bit more like, oh, well, we've got the ball. We've got plenty of chances. But Sheffield United kind of playing with this intensity that actually we're not having the ball a lot. We need to make sure that we're really clinical with our chances. Oh, interesting. Interesting bit of improvisation from Patrick Roberts, but it doesn't end up as a goal. It goes above the goal on the roof of the net. Is this going to be more playoff heartbreak for Sunderland? It is looking that way at the moment, unfortunately. Unless they can find an equaliser within the next couple of minutes or so. If you remember the game last year, so what was the game last year? Oh no, the game last year ended 1-0. I think I did watch that game as well. The year before that, it was Coventry and Luton, which ended 1-1. Yellow card awarded to a Sunderland player. I didn't see who it was. Let's see. So Job Birmingham probably? Or was it... No, it's going to be my Mundell. Mundell would have been yellow carded. Yeah, Romain Mundell getting the yellow card. That's the first Romain I've seen since Romain Sawyers. Do you remember it? Former West Brom player. Okay. Let's see how Sheffield United can now use with this small break of play. It's not the best of balls there by Peck. It's intercepted by Joe Bellingham. He hasn't got a lot of options though. But I'm seeing this a lot from Sunderland. When they're holding onto the ball and going forward, they seem a little bit indecisive of what to do. And part of it is down to the brilliant shape that Sheffield United have put themselves in. But yeah, it does have that sense of Sunderland not really knowing what to do. That, I think, is Vinnie Jones, who is sitting at the moment. Looks like him, at least. Anyway, so, throw in for Sheffield United. What's Sheffield United been able to do? They've been able to certainly do their best route one sort of passages of play, which some of them have not really been able to cope with that physicality. Right, Sergey's got to be very careful. Oh, this could be punishing. This could be a good chance. Oh my goodness me, so close again. I said Serkin's got to be careful there, and he really was nearly punished indeed. What on earth is he doing there? I think that was Brooks who had the chance to end the tie. It's an amazing save again by Anthony Patterson. They've got Patterson to thank for 2 brilliant saves. Sunderland now on the attack, but again, a bit slow and a bit indecisive of what they've got to do. Roberts does well initially, and a free kick is awarded to Sunderland. Or has it not been given to Sunderland? I think Kavanagh has actually said to stop the play because there was a Sunderland player who was down. I think that was... Who was it that was down? But Sirkin, he is a lucky, lucky man. Because he could have cost... I mean... it's good pressing by Brooks, but it is very weak defending from Sirkin to not even see him. That's an amazing save, by the way, by Patterson. He doesn't even use his hand. He actually has to guess which corner Brooks is going to go. He goes to his near corner, so he has to use his feet to save it. That's an amazing save again by Patterson. It is Gustavo Heyman that's down. He's got cramp at the moment, which I think is beautifully timed with it being only 20 minutes left. Oh, and there we go. And this is the quality that Sheffield United have got. They're going to substitute on Ben Brereton Diaz in a minute. You know, the top goal scorer in the Championship a couple of seasons ago, Brereton Diaz. That's just the quality that they've got. Which is why I think Sheffield United will win this. They've just got that quality. And I've not seen anywhere near enough from Sunderland that's going to suggest to me that they're going to score. I've got to be brutally honest with that. Can I just say, if it does end 1-0 Sheffield United, that actually might be the very first playoff final game I've correctly predicted. Not only the outcome, but the score as well. I'll be quite chuffed with myself if I was able to do that. I don't know if I remember actually predicting the correct score. Maybe I predicted Nottingham Forest winning by 1-0 when they went up against Huddersfield correctly. But I can't remember another moment where I did. Gustavo Hamer is going off the pitch, which I think is fair enough if he has generally got cramp. That is a good opportunity for him to go off. And Ben Brereton Diaz is going on the pitch. Very different players and definitely very different statures. But Brereton Diaz can offer something great going forward. I think we have a double substitution going on for Sunderland. I think, finally, Isidore is going to go onto the pitch. I think Isidore and Watson, who are the two players I was expecting to go on the pitch a little bit sooner, are now being substituted on. Don't know who's going off, though. I will find out very, very soon for you guys. It does look like to me that Romain Mundle's going off for Will Isidore. And Watson is going on for Dan Neil. Yeah, it wasn't the best game from Dan Neil. I've got to be honest. So Mundle and Neil are off, and Isidore and Watson are on. Can that double substitution change things for Sunderland? So Sunderland have one sub left. Sheffield United have two, I think. But we're in the final 18 minutes of this game. Still 1-0 to Sheffield United. The Premier League will be returning to Yorkshire in the next 18 minutes or so if the scoreline stays as it does. My cat is snoring right now. Clearly he's not finding this game anywhere near as interesting as I am. Circling with the throw-in. And then, yeah, Dan Ballard there. Oh, I mean, they're showing the stats here. A .09 XG from Sunderland in the second half. That tells you everything. That going forward, Sunderland have just not found a way around Sheffield United's press. And nowhere near good enough, unfortunately, going forward. Excuse me. As I give my voice a bit of a break, a massive favour from you guys is if you've not done so already, please smash the like button for this stream. It really does help the growth of this channel when you do so. It really, really does. Analytics wise, we are actually getting quite a few subs because of my oh, hang on, Sheffield United might have a chance. Oh, they want a penalty, but it won't be given. No chance. No, I don't think even VAR will give that. Sheffield United still having the ball in attack. Kiefer Moore's going to win the header. Brooks, Vinicius, and Brereton Diaz, and it's cleared. Right, we're safe. I was just going to say, we've gained up to 2937 subs. We could get 2950 today, amazingly somehow. Thank you guys, as always, for the terrific support. It really does massively help. Hang on, keep them all. Oh, good tackle. Good tackle. And yeah, quite rightly, Chris Kavanagh has said no foul. Oof. Certainly, it feels like to me it's very similar patterns going round at the moment. And right now, it is in positive correlation to Sheffield United more than it is to Sunderland at the moment. When the players were introduced in English football, the finals were two-legged instead of a single-legged tie. That feels strange for me for finals to be two-legged, to be honest. I feel at this... Well, I mean, I definitely knew that because I definitely... When I did my Football Fairy Tales, hashtag shameless plug series that I no longer do, that was something I did discover when I was looking in history of... I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was like a Leeds or someone like a Reading or something where I figured this out. But yeah, no, two-legged finals were a thing. Oh, this could be a chance for Sunderland. Oh! Oh, I don't know what note I hear, but that is a note that tells you we have a game on our hands. What a goal that is by Mayenda. Absolutely out of nowhere. Sunderland were out of this game, but now they have drawn it level, and 09 has now ran onto the pitch with his sling. Oh my goodness me. Oh, we have a game. It might mean we have to stream for an extra 30 minutes, but honestly, I don't care. I don't care. Oh my gosh, if Charlie was here, he will clip that. My goodness me. Right, let's see this again. It's brilliant play. So Watson, what a ball that is as well. It's just a brilliant attack. And what a goal that is. I need to see who the players were. So Watson, Enzo Lefebvre. Oh, that's an ingenious ball. Wow, I think that's Patrick Roberts that does that there. Mayenda getting ahead of Jack Robinson. Right in the top corner. Wow. And Reggie Lebris is undoubtedly celebrating. And why wouldn't he? What a goal. I don't know how high my voice went, but it went really, really high. 09 is celebrating like you wouldn't believe with his arm brace. Unbelievable. Can that goal affect Sheffield United negatively? I don't know. But Sunderland now need to really make sure that they just don't do anything silly. Because there's been so many moments where Sheffield United could have put the game to bed. And in fact, Eliza Mayenda is the second youngest scorer ever in a playoff final. That just tells you how young this squad is. They want a foul, and Krevener has given it in favour of Sheffield United. Oh my goodness me. So, my score prediction's wrong. And actually, I'm quite right. I'm quite happy it's wrong. Because then it means we could have a moment where it goes to pens. Oh my goodness me. Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Camera's been focused on Brooks a bit. I don't know why, but they're quite rightfully putting it back to the Sunderland fans who are singing their absolute hearts out at the moment. And I don't blame them. Said 1-1 in the beginning. Yeah, you did. But now the question is, with 12 minutes, and I think we could have a chance where we could have less than actual added time in the second half than we did in the first half. I think we'll get about 5 minutes. Could this game go to extra time? Or could we get a winner? And who would be most likely to get the winner? The response from Sheffield United here is going to be very interesting to see if they can respond. I got to say, I think the substitutions from Reggie Lebris really helped. Watson, who he brought on recently, and Isidore had a good moment of involvement in the build up to that goal. So I was shocked at the start really that they weren't really or either starting goal wasn't subbed on sooner, but they've gone up a level, Sunderland, and now they are now looking way more likely going to score for Sheffield United goal. Now, could the cramp to Gustavo Hamer may have affected things? Oh, I mean, there's the Sheffield United fan just absolutely biting his nails off. He has got very short nails, to be fair. But it's Sunderland. The tide has turned a little bit in favour of them. Isidore. Shoot. Oh no, it's Joe Bellingham, sorry. He shoots from just outside the D, and it's high and wide. Yeah, I think it was Patrick Roberts with the assist, and it was Enzo Lefebvre who had the pass prior to that. And that's actually 3 substitutes combining, with the exception of Enzo Lefebvre. Amazing work. Amazing moment this is. And here comes Sunderland again. Isidore. But very good block by Amadizovic. But they are fighting for this now. Patrick Roberts with a brilliant tackle. He's now got the ball. Cross comes in. Oh, it's not a great one. It's cleared, but it's only cleared as far as Enzo Lefebvre. Is a free kick been given? I don't know why they stopped the play. Don't know if offside was given. What's he doing? Are they getting a new ball? I think they're getting a new ball. I think that's why. they've been belting that ball a lot. Right, yeah, so drop kick to Sunderland. Wow, just amazing how one moment can change the game. And there were 2 moments Sheffield United could have scored again in this half. Was it? Yeah, no. Well, one big moment. No, in fact, no, one moment really. I'm not going to count the bit near the start. That chance for Brooks, big moment, and that's probably why they had the camera on Brooks, because he knew how close he was to scoring. Cross comes in. Oh, it's not quite cleared. Sunderland have got to be sensible here, and Sheffield United are going down with any challenge they do get in their opponent's box, hoping for a pen. It's not been given in their favour. We're now reaching the 80-minute mark, and as it stands, we will have another half an hour to wait to decide the winner. God, I tell you what, that VAR moment to deny the second goal is going to be a major talking point if Sheffield United don't go up. Oh my goodness me! So it's not only the barrier to try and get past the one final championship team going up, it's the barrier to try and get past VAR, because it's something you're going to have to be dealing with when you go up to the Prem. Oh goodness me! So definitely a little bit more intensity from Sheffield United, but Sunderland now retrieving the ball. That's a delightful ball by Joe Bellingham, but Watson can't quite keep the ball in play. It's for a Sheffield United throw-in. Certainly, yeah, that chance for Brooks. I mean, I'm going to say very bad defending from Sirkin there, very weak defending. But that is an amazing save. And I'll remind you again, Patterson had no idea where Brooks was going to go. It was so close to the goal, it might as well have been a penalty. He was diving Patterson as if he was going to the far corner. He actually went Brooks to this close corner. So he had to make sure that he made himself big enough for his legs to hook the ball out of the goal. And he did so. It's unbelievable goalkeeping for Patterson, who's come up under a little bit of criticism this season with how he's treated himself, but he has been on top form in this game. Absolute top form. And do you know who's also in top form? Gatsby has stayed with me for the entire stream so far, and he looks like that he may stay there for another half hour. I was thinking that when I was screaming for the goals, he might run away, but he didn't. He has stayed. He has stayed on. He's done so well. Right, throw in for Sunderland. Sorry, I'm getting myself confused. Goodness me, I can't call it. Now. I would have said that it would have been Sheffield United, but now that's happened, I think they really could go either way. Now Brooks has got a brilliant moment there, but Enzo Lafie really does well to recover the tremendous pace he showed there, actually, to try and go forward. Oh, Brooks is really trying to get himself involved into the game now, showing his physicality. And Sunderland do keep the ball. Good composure there. In the 80s and the 90s, in any two-legged ties, playoffs of the English football, there was the away goals rule, being the tiebreaker after extra time had been played. Interesting stuff from GSGN. Right, a free kick awarded to Sunderland, just more frustration from Sheffield United. It's another yellow card awarded in their side as well. Roberts, who has been, I gotta say, Roberts is not he's not a spring chicken, but he has done so well since he's come on the pitch. Brereton Diaz is going to be yellow carded for that, just pulling on his shirt there. He's like the one outlier who's, been there and done it for quite a few seasons in the Championship. But Patrick Roberts, what an impact he has had since he's come onto the pitch. And I think that's been a difference. The substitutes that have come on have made such a difference to Sunderland, where in contrast, where I did mention at half-time, as little changes as possible for Sheff I think were needed, because I think the team that was playing in that first half was as good as you could see from Sheffield United when they didn't hold the ball. Okay, this could be a good chance for Sunderland still. Sirkin. Oh, not the best of balls. It's given away. Right, here's Cameron O'Hare, but Sirkin does do well to run back to his position. And Sheffield United are now having to try and break Sunderland down. Right. God, this is now turning out to be a really, really interesting game now. Someone's just arrived home. Right, what's happened here? So, oh, that is a very strong challenge. It's a good challenge, actually, by Tryhoom. I'm hoping he's not getting a yellow card for that, because that would be really harsh if he got a yellow card. It does look like that Brighton Diaz has not come out well from that challenge. Certainly wasn't expecting the challenge in the way that he did. I sense some added time being added on. So yeah, my ender. I mean, what a moment for him. The second youngest goal scorer. Yes, it was Patrick Roberts. So that is 3 of the 4 substitutes for Sunderland combining for that goal. And Enzo Lafite with a little bit of flair in the middle as well. Brilliant build up to that goal. Really good. What a moment that it is for Sunderland. So we could see a tie-break situation here. So both sides have beaten each other at least once already this season. Then the other youngest scorer in the playoff final used to play for Leicester. He was 18 years of age. But Mayenda is the second youngest ever player to score in a playoff final. What a character Luke O'Nien is as well. He doesn't care about his arms in a brace. He's running to the end of the pitch, celebrating with the Sunderland fans and celebrating with Mayenda. Such a character. See, he's a classic player, Luke O'Nien. I would love to see in the Prem. I really would. I love it. Okay. I think Brighton Diaz is now back on his feet. Just quickly stretching my back, so apologies on that. Oh, that's Jordan Henderson. Of course, he used to play for Sunderland. Once upon a time, that's what he did before he played for Liverpool. Okay, then. So, throw into Sheffield United in their half. 2 minutes before we have our added time, which I think could be up to 10 minutes, if I've got to be honest. We had Hamer go down for cramp. We had Brighton Diaz go down just now. Quite a few substitutes. I think it's going to be quite a lot of added time. So 08-09 Championship table. Who went up in that season? 08-09. So that would have been before the 09-010 season, which was the first Premier League season I watched properly. That was Burnley. Hull. No, I know. Yeah, was it Hull? Was that? No, 07-08 was when Bristol City played against Hull in the playoffs, wasn't it? Yeah, my season's confused. Burnley went up. Sheffield United were in that final. Hang on. Sheffield United were in that final. Who did they play? That was one of the stats where I was seeing Sheffield United's poor playoff record. Who did they play? Oh my gosh. You're testing my brains now, which I'm liking. Oh my gosh, who was it? Oh, I'm so annoyed at myself. Who was it? It wasn't one of the seasons where... Yeah, because Burnley went down. They had Owen Coyle. Oh my gosh, who was it? Right, just as I'm thinking about that, Sheffield United making a double substitution. That will be their last 2 substitutions that they can make, actually, before we get into added time, of course. It is Peck going off, who I probably would have substituted off a little bit earlier, if I've got to be honest. He was not offering a lot in that midfield. Struggled a bit. I think that's Tom Davis coming on. And then, also... oh yeah, Tom Cannon, that's it. And Brereton Diaz is going off. Wow, so he was substituted on, and then that injury took him out. 7 minutes of added time. So a rare moment where actually the added time in the second half was less than the first half. Think of a moment when that last happened. I can't think of a moment when that happened. We've got a collision between 2 players here for Sheffield United. Oh dear. So Tom Cannon's just come on as he's clutching his head. He's still sitting down. He's looking okay. I don't know who else is down. It's not great. It's Amadezovic, isn't it? Wolves, of course it was. Wolves, Birmingham, and Burnley were the playoff winners. Preston going to players by goals scored over Cardiff. Oh my gosh. That means did Burnley finish third in that season? If that would have been a Burnley and Preston semi-final game. That would have been quite interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I knew Burnley went up, but then I must have remembered Burnley were the playoff winners. They were the ones that beat Sheffield United. Yeah, I don't know why I thought Wolves were already in the Prem at that time, but yeah, of course, Mick McCarthy. And then Birmingham, I know for a fact with Birmingham's point of view, they would have been recently relegated, I think. And then a couple of seasons in the Championship, or at least one season, they would have gone straight back up. And then when they did go back up, how many seasons did they survive? Was it only 2 seasons in the end? They went down with Alex McLeish in around 2011, I think. So it would have been around 2 seasons. Yeah, they went down with Blackpool, didn't they? Yeah, so only 2 seasons. That's quite poor from Birmingham, considering they were, in the 2000s, a pretty solid Premier League club. But Birmingham are in a good place at the moment, so maybe if they can attack the Championship season, they can have a really good attempt to try and make some progress this time. I mean, we're 2 minutes in the added time, and they're still looking towards Amadezovic, Amadezovic is still down. Tom Cannon, I think, is back up, but I think they both had a head collision. Sheffield United made all their subs as well, haven't they? Oh, it goes from bad to worse for Sheffield United here. Oh, they finished 5th, right. Let me read this. So Preston beat Cardiff 6-0. Oh my gosh. So that game on April actually was a difference. Could you imagine if that was the last game of the season and they did that? That would have been amazing. This sort of gives me the vibes of Scunthorpe when they didn't get promoted from goals scored. Bristol Rovers, sorry. They were playing Scunthorpe, wouldn't they? When they won 7-0 and they got up that way. They're showing the goals again, probably because there's a large stoppage of play. There's lots of stop-starts in this game, which I probably should have expected. Right, Amadezovic is walking at least. It's looking a little bit weak. It's hard to say if he can definitely play in the intensity that he's been doing. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to do a drop kick. I think that's what Chris Kavanagh is setting up to do. So yeah, it's in favour of Sheffield United. Right, okay. So currently Sheffield United are a player down because Amadezovic is coming off the pitch. Is this an opportunity for Sunderland to maybe take advantage of that? Although, I've got to say, very early first impressions, Tom Davies is showing lots of feistiness in that midfield role. A lot more what I saw from Peck in the entire game, to be honest. And a great tackle from him there as well. Right. But a really sloppy giveaway from Sheffield United here. Shot. Oh my goodness me! It's a goal for Sunderland! Oh my gosh! It's Watson, the substitute, who has scored. 94 minutes in. This is incredible. Oh my goodness me, my cat is still there. I didn't scare it. Oh my gosh. Shirt's come off as well. He thinks he has scored the winner, and he could have very well scored the winner. That was very sloppy from Sheffield United. That actually led to that goal. A flare's gone on the pitch. I need to see this again. What on earth happened? So Tom Davies, I was just praising for the tackle. Oh my goodness me, that's so poor. Who was that? Who did that? Oh my god, was that Kiefer Moore who did that? So O'Hare It's Moore. It's a hospital pass from Moore, who probably thinks he's trying to pass it to Brooks, but Brooks has got his back to the ball. And Watson just has a simple task of running through on goal. It's not the most powerful of strikes, but it's enough to the corner where Cooper cannot keep it out. And with 3 minutes to go, Sunderland have completely turned this game around and are minutes away now from being a Premier League club for the first time in 8 seasons. Wow. Sheffield United cannot break the curse. That's in their own doing as well. It's a hospital pass from Kiefer Moore. He will not want to see this back. It is terrible. I think he's trying to pass it to Brooks. But Brooks has got his back to the ball and he's clearly not showing for it. Oh my goodness me. What do you do if you're Sheffield United in this situation here? Oh my gosh. I mean, it is nearly the added time's over. But they're going to play at least, I think, 3 or 4 more minutes. Oh my gosh. Right. You've got some yellow cards flying out here. Vijay is really, really excited at the moment, saying, come on, Black Cats. We have some substitutes who will be going onto the pitch. Oh, we've got to be very careful that no one loses their head. What do you do if you keep them all from there? Right, my ender's going off. Fair enough. I think he's earned the right. I mean, his goal was amazing enough as it was. That is amazing. Kiefer Moore, man. That was as bad of a mistake as you would make at the biggest stage. Yellow cards are flying in now. Sirkin getting yellow carded. 97 minutes are up. Let's make this clear. This 97 minutes are up. But we had the goal. We had substitutes. And we had a head collision. I think we could get up to 105 minutes. I'm calling this. Sunderland may have just pulled off a Charlton. Honestly, that is actually what this is reminding me of. And, of course, Sunderland were on the losing side of that game. That would be amazing stuff. Newcastle versus Sunderland will be a thing again. Let's not say that yet. There's still, I think, there's still about 5 or 6 minutes left. And I think if you're Kiefer Moore with the experience that you've got, he will be wanting to try and rectify and score a goal. Offside be given against Sheffield United there. Oh my goodness me. How will Sheffield United cope in the Championship next season? It will mean the Steel City derby returns, but my God, to score 90 points plus and not go up, it is a cruel, cruel world. But again, if you look at Sunderland, everyone was so nervous of Sunderland's chances getting into the playoffs. Right. So there's been a concussion substitution. So to be fair, you do gain a substitution on that. Amadezovic is off. And I think it's Soriki that goes on to replace him. I'm glad that Sheffield United were able to get that across. Very unfortunate circumstances because I don't know, did they have this concussion substitution on the pitch by the time Watson scored? If they didn't, that's very unfortunate time for Sheffield United. Basically, any luck that's gone against Sheffield United in this game, they have had it. A little bit of a butterfly effect indeed. Amazing. Just... You heard me say the immortal words. I do not see how Sunderland score in this game. But lo and behold, the substitutes that come on have made an amazing difference. Patrick Roberts just now putting his body on the line and just making sure the ball's out of play. That is just what amazing tactics can do when you just bring the right players on at the right time, exploiting a weakness of another side. And that is what Sunderland have done. We're now officially at the 100-minute mark. I think they will go on to 105 minutes. Maybe not 105, but maybe 103. Or Enzo Lafay is trying to hype up the Sunderland fans. They really are believing now, Sunderland, that it is their chance. Oh, they've got a free kick, Sunderland. This is exactly what they want. Henderson's on his feet now. He is starting to smile. He's starting to believe that Sunderland are going to make a return to the Premier League. If you go back to 2017, David Moyes and Sunderland, things were looking bleak. They even had back-to-back relegations. They're one of the 4 sides in Championship history who have suffered back-to-back relegations. It has taken 4 seasons or 3 seasons in League One for Sunderland to get out of it, and it has only taken them 3 Championship seasons to eventually go back up and take that step back into the Premier League. Potentially. We still have a couple of minutes, I think, still of football to play. Sheffield United will be desperate to try and get something. Long ball going in. Sunderland defending with... Oh, that's not a really good clearance from Patrick Roberts. He's trying to make things difficult. Sheffield United. Oh, it's not the best ball from Callum O'Hare. Is this going to be it? Oh, Moore's going to not want to see this back. I really feel for the guy. Obviously, he played for Ipswich for a tiny bit as well in the Championship. God, this is when one of those moments where you'd want the ground to swallow you up. I really feel bad for him. I mean, what an amazing opportunity this is for Sunderland if they do go up. Potentially one of the youngest squads ever to go up. And they've done it! 8 seasons of absolute pain for Sunderland is now over. They are now a Premier League club for the first time since 2017. They will be in the 25-26 Premier League team. Oh my goodness me. Their games against Newcastle will return. They are now a Premier League side once more. Reggie Lebree's army managed to conquer everything from all odds. I only predicted them to finish bottom half, maybe only just top half. They've defied the odds. Lots of people, including myself, were thinking they were the worst informed team going into the playoffs. They had one eye on the playoffs, and they played their games to perfection. Unbelievable stuff. Sunderland, the Black Cats, they are now returning as a Premier League club. Unbelievably, with 102 minutes of football, they've earned it. Oh my goodness me. It's certainly Sunderland were the people's choice that they would have wanted to go up. So a lot of people will be really happy for Sunderland to go up in the way that they did. That's another team I got wrong in my predictions. Because I predicted Sheffield United. But again, I'm not going to make this about me. This is Sunderland's day. Absolutely amazing. Half-time, they were 1-0 down. But Reggie Lebree, with his substitutions in the second half, made the difference. 3 out of the 4 of them were combining for the first goal. The second goal came from a bit of fortune, maybe with the concussion and the from Almadezovic and the mistake from Kiefer Moore. But either way, they took their chances. And Sunderland barely had any shots on target. Sheffield United did. They had at least 2 major chances. And you've got to say, Anthony Patterson in the Sunderland goal, take a bow, son. He's come under lots of criticism this season, but he has really stepped up in the moment where it mattered. All of the players for Sunderland stepped up where it mattered. Reggie Lebree is the new hero of Sunderland. He has been the manager's pick to get Sunderland back up to the promised land into the Premier League. Last season, a season full of disaster, a bottom half finish. You'd argue the momentum would have ended from their brilliant debut season back in the Championship to get into the playoffs. But they've ended it here, now as a Premier League club. Sheffield United 1, Sunderland unbelievably 2. Oh my goodness me. Still City Derby remains a thing. We've got Newcastle and Sunderland now a thing. Just peak football. Unbelievable. Wow. Amazing. And the goal scorers as well. You've got to say, Tom Watson and Mayenda, incredible. They are 2 real examples of players who have been having a breakout season in their right. I mean, if we remind you about Tom Watson, who I did say I would have brought on a little bit sooner from when he did. Just Unbelievable. Just look at the impact that he had when he did come on. He came on the 72nd minute, 1 goal, only 1 shot on target, and that's all you need. Sometimes you need just 1 shot on target. I don't think it was the most amazing goal with power, but it was just perfectly placed. It was one of those well-placed goals. Oh, Joe Bellingham, he is looking absolutely ecstatic. He is going to be a Premier League player. That's one thing he could probably brag to his brother. He will be a Premier League player before he turns out to be a Premier League player. Unless Bellingham wants to make a move to the Premier League. But I can't lie, being a Real Madrid player, I can't imagine him wanting to leave. But that's an amazing moment for Sunderland. They have suffered for years, and now they have managed to get a bit of good freedom from their playoff heartbreak. That's actually 2 playoff finals that they've won in a row. Wickham in the Championship, and now here against Sheffield United. I know they're in the semi-final against Luton. I don't want to get involved with that. That's not a final. In their final specifically, Sunderland now won 2 in a row. You can probably safely say that their misfortune of not being able to win in the Championship playoffs is now over. Unbelievable. Amazing work. But what about Sheffield United? We've got to think about them. They are going to be a Championship club again. Gosh, Luke O'Nien is a Premier League player now. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness me. What a character. 2nd career promotion with Sunderland, and yeah, he would have been there all the way back in League One with them. Amazing story from him. But Sheffield United, what on earth do we think about them now? 92 points, wasn't it, that they got? Let's remind ourselves how well they did in the Championship. Oh my goodness me. Football's a cruel, cruel sport, and it has shown that to be the case for Sheffield United, that's for certain. I want to see the Championship. I don't know. Is it actually going to show the Championship? Please say it will. 90 points. Okay, ignore me. Yeah, it's only 90 points. I thought they actually scored a bit more. So it's the same amount of points than what Leeds got last year when they didn't get promoted. That's 2 seasons in a row. A team scoring 90 points has not gone up. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable that. But you see that form there from Sunderland. Look. You were not have predicted with that form Sunderland would have been the side going back up to the Prem. But fair play on them. They are a big club, Sunderland. I don't care what you say. They are a big club, and they really deserve this chance to have a Premier League season. So only one of the returning 3 sides are going up, and that's Burnley. Sheffield United, of course, are staying again in the Championship, and Luton have gone down a league to League One. So it's nice to see 2 different Championship teams go up to the Prem. Unbelievable stuff. So that has confirmed the Premier League lineup for next year. If we now show the Premier League, I know they're not going to change the teams yet. We still have one more game to play. But to remind you who we are expecting to see. We've got Liverpool, we've got Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Brentford, Fulham, Bournemouth, Palace, Everton, Wolves, West Ham, Man United, Spurs, and the 3 teams joining, Leeds, Burnley, and just now Sunderland. Wow. Amazing stuff. Oh, look, just, it's amazing. It's amazing, just the complete contrast of emotions, which is what this game always presents. It is always a massive, massive contrast. It's amazing. My cat is still there. He is snoring his head off. He does not care the amount of noise I've made. I've got to say thank you for the viewers that have already stayed for the 2 hours and 45 minutes. For those people, you get a treat. You can see my cat being asleep. There he is. He's literally been out all stream. He has not made like any surprise appearances per se. But he's just been there in the entire stream. I'm surprised he wasn't scared with the amount of noise I was making, especially with the 3 goals. But he's snoring his head off. So he's really, really happy at the moment. Legendary Moggy, yeah, I know. That's just a very strange time that he behaves himself. Normally when I scream for a goal, he just runs. Well, he doesn't run. He can't run now. But he just leaves because he doesn't like the noise. But my God, he just stayed there. I'm surprised. Kevin Phillips is there in the stands at the moment. He's celebrating with the Sunderland players. Sheffield United have to play against Wrexham. Oh my goodness, Sheffield United versus Wrexham. That was a cup game this year, wasn't it? Am I wrong in saying that Sheffield United have already played Wrexham in the cup game? Was that last season or the season before that? I like to say I think they've played against each other, Sheffield United and Wrexham, quite recently. Oh, look at the... Oh, yeah, EFL Cup round 1, yeah. Trust my brain to know those things. Oh, my goodness me. I'm just going to say it again. The right contrast of emotions. You've got Joe Bellingham waving his scarf around, just running around like he's on top of the world and on cloud 9. The Sheffield United players will probably want the ground to swallow them up. Amazing stuff. And just what a hero Mayenda and Tom Watson are going to turn out to be. Have they got is that Jordan Henderson mask? No, that can't be Jordan Henderson. What have they got? What are they wearing? I sense a bit of trolling going round from the Sunderland players here. Regular season, dream killers, and that's the playoffs. Yes, brutal. That's exactly the best word to use. I'm sensing a bit of context being missed here with this. I wasn't even really able to say Dan Ballard's name a lot, but he has had, a big moment there as well. Imagine being top 3 for most of the season and then promotion to 4th place. I mean, we were speaking with Sheffield United being first place at quite a fair few amount of the championship. But then those 3 defeats in a row killed them. It's so brutal, the championship. And that is exactly the reason why. But Sunderland have shown glimpses of amazing quality this season. Dan Neil is leading the team. Oh, I don't want Luke O'Neill to hold a trophy. He's only got 1 working arm at the moment. It's got to be Dan Neil who's going to pick it up, surely. Has to be Dan Neil. I can't quite see who they've got like in those plastic cutouts. I'm sensing a bit of context being missed here. Reggie Labrie is there near the front as well. Oh my goodness me. I couldn't quite see. Right, here we go. I feel like Luke O'Neill is probably going to try and lift it, but I'd be so nervous with him lifting it up with him only having 1 working arms. Amazing word. Just you can see the smiles from all Sunderland players. Reggie Labrie is so happy as well. Is he going to lift it? No, so it's going to be Reggie Labrie, Dan Neil, and Luke O'Neill. Here we go. Wow. What a moment. Dan Neil, both hands on the trophy. Luke O'Neill with 1. Reggie Labrie holding it as well. Amazing stuff. Now every player is going to hold a trophy. Oh, you've got to be careful with that. Oh, it's not. He's actually like lifting it up as well, like full stretch as well. I'd be so nervous. But this is a redemption to losing the playoffs in 22-23. Yeah, amazing. Amazing stuff. Luke was a Watford junior. Very pleased for him. Yeah, amazing. Amazing stuff. All these players you're seeing lifting the trophy, unless they don't get released or going back down to the Championship, will be a Premier League player next year. Patrick Robertson, the player. Joe Bellingham. He could be the Bellingham that says, I played a Premier League game. Of course, if he does choose to stay on, and there could be clubs trying to go for him. Sunderland have evened out the stats. 7 wins apiece of teams in the finals between 2 Irish teams in the second tier playoffs. Wow, great stat. Amazing work. So, I feel like that's pretty much everything I could say. We're just going to see the Sunderland players now lifting the trophy one by one in the next couple of minutes now. So that concludes the 24-25 championship season. With 5 of you here, apparently according to Streamlabs, in terms of like a last question, what has been your favourite moment of this 24-25 season? And how does this season compare with all other seasons that you've watched over the years? I mean, to comment on my favourite moments of the season, I mean, it's hard to say really. There's been some amazing games that I've seen. I've not streamed too many games, but the games that I have streamed have been really, really good. I definitely enjoyed the Norwich and Middlesbrough game I streamed live. The one that ended, I think, 3-3. That was an amazing game that I watched. I liked the whole drama between John Eustace going to Derby and how that entailed as well. The relegation battle was a really big part of this season. And actually, the game that really, added the pressure, the Burnley and Sheffield United one as well. Just unbelievable as well. Just lots of moments that I can't edge for one favourite one. Bayo versus scoring 4 against Sheffield Wednesday. Yes, that was a bizarre result to say the least, but it was an amazing moment for Vacuum Bayo. This is better than the 22-23 season. That was that still when Blackpool were relegated from the Championship? Or was that the season after that? I mean, I've done 6 seasons of this now, believe it or not. How does this one compare with the others? It's definitely not the worst season. I can still vividly remember one of the worst seasons for me being... Right, I've got to make sure I think of it definitely it's the right season. Don't know if it was the 21-22 season, probably. I don't know if it was that one that I didn't particularly enjoy so much. I can certainly remember the teams that were in it. It was when Burnley had a run-away victory. They've had that against a couple of sides this season, really. But like the relegation battle, I liked certainly just how far the promotion race did go. And just even the drama of getting into the playoffs as well. There was just so much. There was so many good moments this year. So it's been an amazing season. I cannot wait for the fact that we have got, Ipswich going back to the Championship. I think is going to be interesting. I'm a bit apprehensive or how I feel they're going to do. Leicester could have those points deductions, but they are going to have a new manager who I think will be certainly better than Ruud van Nistelrooy, I'll tell you that. And then Southampton, for me, who I actually think are preparing the best out of the 3 relegated sides at the moment, looking like that they could get Will Still. He's been the one that's been linked with a job for Southampton. We're speaking about teams I'm a bit concerned about. Sheffield Wednesday's one I'm quite concerned about as well, because I don't know the future of Daniel Rold as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the 3 returning to the Championship do, whether it's going to be a repeat of what they did 2 seasons ago. And then, of course, the 3 teams going up from League One. We still yet to find out who the last Championship side's going to be. We're going to find out the full Championship roster by tomorrow, amazingly. But yeah, we already had Wrexham and Birmingham. Wow. We're going to see some absolute fireworks, I think. I think next season's going to certainly be an interesting one. I mean, what would really, really top it off is if someone like Leyton Orient goes up. That would be an amazing sort of roster for the Championship as well. You'll get your underdogs of... Have Wrexham been in the Championship when the Championship was rebranded? Because I know for a fact they were second tier. But I can't remember if the Championship was actually a thing when they were. I actually think they were. I think people actually forget how good, or at least how competitive Wrexham were before they fell very, very dramatically in the late 2000s. Hull concerns me? Yeah, Hull does concern me too. I agree with you on that. So they were never in the Championship when it was rebranded. So we could have 2 teams with their first season since the rebrand. So it was rebranded in 04-05 and they were a League One side by then. Yeah, so they would have been second tier, years ago, Wrexham actually. But yeah, the rebrand happened 04-05. That was the season when they were relegated from League One. And then only 3 seasons in League Two. And then they had, how many seasons is that in the National League? 10 seasons in the National League. That's unbelievable. And then they have had back-to-back promotions back to the Championship. 3 promotions in a row, that is. National League, League Two, League One. 3 seasons, 3 promotions. So yeah, if Leyton Orient do go up, that would be 2 new members of the Championship. Yeah, never in the rebranded Championship. That's amazing already. So, I mean, I'd be happy for Charlton or Leyton Orient to go up, but for that sort of history, it would be really nice to see if Leyton Orient could get a season in the Championship. Considering how, recently they've actually were in the National League. They got promoted, I'd like to think, in 2021. I think it wasn't too long ago when they were a National League club. Got promoted from League Two not long ago, and then obviously made a big, splash into League One as well. Amazing work. 2014 League One player final where they lost to Rotherham and then got relegated in the following season. Wow. Amazing stuff. So, I think I pretty much have waffled as much as I could now. I think that will be a good place to end. So, Pete has said this has been a great week. World champions. Sheffield battered in the final. They didn't deserve to even play, and there's an outcome third. Yeah, Pete's certainly very happy with the outcome there. Sunderland returning to the Premier League for the first time in 8 seasons. Relegated in 2017 they were. Okay, so unfortunately my time has ended in terms of my streams. I think my grandparents have just arrived actually, so I need to say hello. So this will be a good time to conclude. If you've not liked the stream, please smash the like button. It really does help the growth of this channel. It really, really does. In terms of how the channel has been in terms of this season, we're at 2936. So certainly for next season, we are really going to make a push for 3,000 subscribers. It really is amazing the support from this channel. It really, really, really is. Unbelievable. So that concludes the 24-25 season. If you guys enjoyed it, please smash the like button. It really does help. Subscribe as well, it really does help. And please share the channel too. It really does help too. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's just quickly say goodbye from Gats as well. Nah, he's not going to move, isn't he? Still going to be asleep. Right, now wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. The 24-25 season is now over. Let's roll on 25-26 within a matter of days. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for seeing this video. And as always, I'll see you later. It has ended Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 2. Sheffield United with a second season in the Championship. Sunderland, after 8 years of hurt, have now returned to the top leagues. It's been a great stream, guys, and I'll hope to see you maybe tomorrow where we cover the Premier League. So, I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.